Deuce and Mo are over. I'm scattering around, grabbing cleaning materials.
For you,
stuff.
I just went to my station.
Yeah, you just hung out.
My laptop.
You watched. You enjoyed the view. It's like it was just me running around like mass hysteria.
I told them, like, I've always thought I was a germaphobe. People in my life have told me I was a germaphobe. Then I met Nick Cattles.
Right.
That's right. Not so much.
And your world changed. Thanks to Deuce and Mo. Fantastic job. Debut show here on Sactown Sports. Watch them. I listened to them today. Fantastic job by them, too. And I do appreciate.
I pitched the idea of using their camera shot. You didn't seem thrilled.
Wasn't interested.
Like you said, yeah, we could try that if you want to. But
don't need you in that.
I just like the way it looked.
Proximity.
I'm thinking about the presentation of the show, and I thought it looked good with them both being in the same shot.
I'll take it under advisement. Maybe we'll have a conversation sometime down the road and try to figure that out.
Okay.
But so I do want to thank them because somebody told them, I'm guessing it was Verlad, that I need to clean the area before I get on the show. And so they were very respectful, which I appreciate.
They got out quick.
I would not have expected that from Dave. Let's just put it that way. I think Dave would have taken his time. And, as he saunters out. Yeah.
Frustrated and angry.
So it was a long weekend, Nick. It was a long weekend. You know, me taking pictures of my dog sitting on the couch watching the Niners. Very, very busy. You can follow me on Twitter. I'll tweet more nonsense. Anyway, happy Monday to all of you. Thanks for joining us. A full 4 hours. Gas tank full.
4 hours.
I hope your gas tank is full.
I'm filling it up. That's what's in here.
There you go.
That's what I got.
There you go. A lot to talk about. Of course, we'll get into the Kings and Grizzlies tonight. I know Deuce was talking about how this is a big game tonight. He said the biggest game of the season. We'll get into that. But we start with the Niners, of course, Ramie, because yet again, the San Francisco 49ers are back in the NFC Championship game. 15-4 this season when you look at it in totality. 12 straight wins, which is just insane. 12 straight wins. And they're doing this right now with their third-string quarterback. Not their first, not their second, but
rookie.
Their third-string rookie quarterback.
It was Mr. Irrelevant.
I thought you didn't want to use that term anymore.
Get out of here.
Brock Purdy wins another playoff game along with his teammates, which we'll get to in a little bit. But, Ramie, your biggest takeaway watching that game yesterday unfold?
Dude, that 49ers defense, man.
Ridiculous. Insane.
Absolutely ridiculous. And I don't know about you, Nick. I'm not as nerdy as some people when it comes to football, but I like to get a little nerdy and go and check out some of the X's and O's. And Bill Barnwell had a great breakdown at ESPN.com today showing two of those interceptions, the two interceptions that Dak threw, the only two interceptions that he threw. On both of those, one, obviously it was a linebacker making the interception and running alongside a wide receiver.
Right.
But on the other one, it was Dak was forced into the decision he made because Dre Greenlaw was running with CD Lamb of all people and had him covered up. You know what I mean? Like, I've brought up this point before, the blue chip players at all three levels, and in some cases, multiple blue chip players at certain levels of this defense is really what makes it special. The ability of Nick Bosa and the rest to put pressure on quarterbacks that they do for Dre Greenlaw and oh God, I'm drawing a blank now on
Alshire?
No, they're other all pro linebacker. How am I drawing a blank?
Say Warner?
Yes, Fred Warner. How did I draw a blank on Fred Warner?
Know.
That guy's a freak. And then what you have in the secondary with both wards, it's a special defense, and DeMeco Ryans is dialing up things, man, that if it doesn't get him a head coaching job, something is wrong with the evaluation process to hire head coaches in the NFL. They are putting on an absolute clinic with what they're doing with that defense, both in the terms of the talent that they have there and what they're drawing up.
It was a dominant performance. I mean, Dallas is a mess. We'll talk about them later on. I know they curb stomped Tampa, but I mean, when you watch this team, they're not coached very well. Execution is lacking at times, some boneheaded decisions, but I don't want to take anything away from the Niners defense because we've seen this all year. This is a dominant defense, and you mentioned it, Ramie, at all three levels, man. Defensive line, you've got Bosa, you've got Omenahu, you've got Armstead, you've got game changers on that defensive line. And then the second level speaks for itself with the athleticism, the skill level of those guys. I think, the ability of Ward to play in the slot has helped tremendously. The safety play has been hit and miss the last 6 or 7 weeks. Those guys have been more responsible over the past couple of weeks after Talanoa Hufanga kind of lost himself and lost his eye discipline. But they are elite at all 3 levels, and they create turnovers. So as if it's not difficult enough to beat this defense, they will turn you over. And that obviously helps Purdy and company move the football at a better pace.
Holding them to a field goal after that McLeod fumble, that's a victory.
Yes.
Like that's even though they got 3 points, Cowboys offense walked off that field feeling dejected. And the 49ers defense walked off that field feeling victorious. And like they just changed the whole momentum of the game back in their favor. That was a huge stand to force them into a field goal when they got the ball in the red zone on that McLeod fumble. That right there, I think, was the real turning point in the football game. And when the Cowboys kind of were starting to feel the 49ers sort of tighten the grip around their neck.
And you know what I love about DeMeco Ryans? When you have such a talented defense, I think there would be a number of defensive coordinators in the league that kind of would just, hey, we do what we do, and my talent on this roster is going to speak for itself. But Ryans doesn't do that. He spins the dial, as they say, defensively. He changes things up. Yesterday, they played Tampa 2 on a few snaps, which is something they never do. So if you're Dak Prescott and you're in shotgun formation and you're looking across from you and you see this defense in Tampa 2, you're thinking, wait, what? What are they doing? Why do they have 2 high safeties? They never do that. DeMeco Ryans changes things, and that makes it very, very difficult for any offense going against this very talented defense. My takeaway, Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports, was the run game. And when you looked at this first half, the first half was terrible. I mean, let's just all be honest about it. The Niners won. You can be happy about that. They're going to the NFC Championship game. But that first half was brutal.
And it was not just brutal in terms of the 49ers didn't play well. It was tough to watch, man. It
was not an exciting game.
The most entertaining football game.
I mean, you went from, you went from the great game, fun game to watch. I mean, look, obviously the Bills laid an egg. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But
oh, yeah. Give me your booze. I am nourished by your hatred.
I gave all the booze. I gave all the booze to the Buffalo Bills, who just really didn't show up yesterday. But you go from watching Joe Burrow play quarterback and Josh Allen, who wasn't great yesterday, but you go from those 2 quarterbacks to watching that offensive quote-unquote display in the first half. Woof. But the run game in the second half picked up, and that was the change. That's what changed the game. What changed the game was the ability of the Niners to run the football in the second half. They had 86 rushing yards in that second half. And Ramie, when they're running the football, it opens up so many other options on the field. And when we talk about trying to put stress on a defense, when Christian McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell and company are running the football, it puts stress on that front 7 of Dallas, and it changes the game, and it allows you to operate and do different things.
And it makes them think twice about sending. I mean, it's enough when they don't send extra pass rushers, just having Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Ware and the rest of the pass rush and all that speed that they have up front.
Right.
You need to make them think about dropping a couple of those guys into coverage at some point. And it does make them, it wears them down, Nick, the way that they ran the ball in the second half. And they said it on the broadcast on Fox. They weren't really, a lot of them weren't the most impressive runs. It was 3-4 yards and a cloud of dust, but it was physical. And you saw the 49ers offensive linemen getting on that front 7 of the Cowboys and sort of wearing them down over the course of 4 quarters. And it made a huge difference in that game.
And it opens up your play action. It opens up room for George Kittle to operate a little bit on the second level. And it asks less of your quarterback. And I know people are giving a lot of credit to Brock Purdy. And look, he did what he needed to do to help the team win yesterday. But you don't win that game if you don't run the football in the second half. You just don't. You don't win that game. And you could go back to the game against Seattle, which I know Kyle Shanahan's crystal ball, it was all part of the game plan to not run the ball in the first half. Okay, Kyle. In the second half, they ran the football against Seattle.
Sarcasm here.
Heavy, laying it on thick. But you ran the football in the second half against Seattle, and guess what? Your offense looked better. You ran the football in the second half yesterday against Dallas, and guess what? Your offense looked better. It's not a coincidence, right? It's run game, run game, run game. So defense and run game We said that at the beginning of this year. With Trey Lance, we said it. With Jimmy Garoppolo, we said it. And I still say it with Brock Purdy. This team is going to win most of the games off of their defense in the run game. And that's what you saw yesterday. We want your thoughts on this. 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Niners fans, the phone lines are open for you. Of course, don't forget youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. You can swing on by the YouTube channel, watch us, listen to us, and don't forget to give us that like. It opens up the community more and more and more. The more likes that we get. So we'll get to your reaction and thoughts on the Niners Cowboys. Also coming up, the Kings let their foot off the gas on Saturday night.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports goes 100% live and local.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Starting January 23rd. Tune into Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Followed by the return of Deuce and Mo.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Followed by Cattles and Ramie from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You wanted more local? We're giving you more local on Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
And Ramie.
on Sactown Sports.
Air drum action there.
Yep.
Mic check.
Mic check, eardrums, the whole nine.
You're too busy drumming.
I was, man. Play the drums. When I hear a song that I like, I gotta just play along. It happens naturally. Tony Dogg saying it took me 8 minutes to trash the Niners. I waxed poetic about their defense. I talked about their run game. Benjamin, run blocking was better in the second half for the Niners. There was a lot going on in that second half that was better. Greg Hyatt says the air drums are on point. Thank you, Greg. Glad you acknowledged that instead of Ramie, who just throws jabs at.
No, when you were playing, were you hitting the right drums?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just
Absolutely.
checking. Okay.
Ramie is a purist on the air drums.
Very snappy today.
Well, how dare you?
I was just asking. I don't know what your expertise is.
How dare you? You should believe in me. Believe in me, Ramie. Believe in me. Great win for the Niners yesterday, of course, heading to the NFC Championship game. I know we'll get into the Cowboys a little bit later, but there are some comments on the game yesterday in the YouTube chat asking who was the rookie quarterback. That was Benjamin. Who was the rookie quarterback? Dak Prescott. Yeah, man. Dak did not have a great game. He was pretty brutal throwing. Did you see the Ryan Clark tweet saying that Dak was throwing it into defensive meetings? That was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic stuff from Ryan Clark. Meanwhile, the Kings. Let's talk about the Kings here. All right, from 30,000 feet, okay? From 30,000 feet, the Kings are in great shape. Nobody's denying that. Nobody's debating that. We're all happy about them being
fine, right?
7 games above 500. They are still the 3 seed. We last left you on Friday. They were the 3 seed. They are still the 3 seed. But Ramie,
fine.
We have to talk about Saturday night. Because, again, big picture, everything's good. We feel great about this team. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, no, the train's off the track. Saturday was a disappointment. Saturday was a disappointing loss for this team for a number of factors. When you play Philly and they don't have Harden and they don't have Embiid. I couldn't care less if it's the second night of a back-to-back. I couldn't care less if it's 3 games in 4 nights, 4 games in 6 nights, whatever it is. You have to win that game.
You should win that game.
You better bring it.
We're at a point with this team. You go in 8 games above 500, 3 seed in the Western Conference. The other team without their 2 best players, you are a team now that needs to win that game.
There are expectations.
Yes.
The bar has been raised.
You win that game, especially, Ramie, when late in the second quarter, you're up by 21. I mean, you're up by 21, no Harden, no Embiid. Somehow, some way, you allow Philadelphia to get some spirit before halftime, which I think really, really changed the second half of that game. Look, you had a chance to put your foot on their throat and say, night, you're done, right? You're up 21. You push that to 25 to 30. You get to halftime by up 20 points, 20-plus points. I don't know if the Sixers come out of halftime feeling, like they want to play anymore.
Yeah.
The fact that you allowed them to get within 10 points at halftime gave them life. It gave them breath. And as soon as you did that, now the Sixers saying to themselves, we can beat this team, right? You're down by 20 without your 2 best players. You're looking around like John Travolta's GIF trying to figure out what's happening.
Frustrated and angry.
But when you're sitting there at halftime only down by 10, you're saying, wait a minute, fellas. We made a nice run. We got a chance.
Yeah.
Let's go win this without James and Joel.
I don't know about you, Nick. When I and you're right that they should have won that game. But even that being said, I don't remember which. Oh, it was Atlanta, a loss that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, not a bad loss. I was like, there are good losses where you might call a moral victory, and there are bad losses where I'm like, oh, that one really hurts. They should not have lost that game for a number of reasons. You could say that,
right?
And then there are some that are just losses. On the surface, even without Embiid and Harden, I don't automatically go bad loss. That's a game they should win, so it's a bad loss. But the things that when I open a box score after a game, and you can't tell a whole game based on a box score, but this is going on as you're watching the game, then you open the box score and it confirms what you're thinking. There are a few things that consistently pop up that when I see in a box score at the end of a game, I know they lost, and these are going to be the things that are going to pop up later in the season for games that mean more.
Right.
And when I open it up and I see them getting dominated in rebounds, 46-29, I see them getting dominated on points in the paint, 70-56, another 70 points in the paint game for a Kings opponent, Nick. That doesn't happen all the time to a lot of teams. It seems to happen far too much to the Sacramento Kings. And then the third thing that's become a trend and a problem lately, and something that pops up in losses time and time again. I know we're going to talk about Malik Monk a little bit more in the show, but getting absolutely smoked in bench points.
Yeah.
Those 3 things right there are what's most disheartening about it. It's not just that you lost to a team that didn't have their 2 best players in Embiid and Harden. It's the way that you lost. If this was a game where the 76ers came out and they were just shooting lights out, they're shooting 60% from 3. You go, hey, man, teams come out hot some nights and they just put it on you. You know what I mean? This wasn't that. This was you getting beat in the hustle stats. This was you getting dominated in areas of the game where when the Kings lose, these are the common trouble areas for this basketball team.
This team's defense stinks.
It's not good.
Stinks.
Can't do it.
They gave up 75 points combined in the second and third quarters. 75 points between the second and third quarter against a team that didn't have their 2 best players. Look, James Harden goes crazy from 3 with his step-back threes. Joel Embiid dominates you in the paint and knocks down a couple threes. You somewhat understand, right? All right, Harden and Embiid, man, they were on one. 2 tough guys to defend. But when you give up 75 combined points in the second and third quarters against a team that the number 1 guy is Tyrese Maxey. Look, I like Maxey. I liked him in college.
Hey, you're a Maxey guy.
He's a scorer, right? I like Maxey. But you can't do that. You can't let that team shoot almost 53% from the field. You can't let that team shoot 43% from three-point land. That's just bad defense. 70 paint points you hit, it's embarrassing. I mean, you should be at least trying to keep them under 50. You gave up 70 without Joel Embiid on the floor. And you talked about the rebounds, 23 second chance points. There are common denominators to Kings losses this year.
Yep.
Paint points, second chance points, bad defense, just allowing teams to score at will.
Still fine, though, right?
Again, big picture, 30,000 feet, yes. I mean, 3 seed, nobody's complaining, but that's a disappointing loss. And they have to be more consistent defensively, I'm telling you, because as we get deeper into the season, as we get closer to the playoffs, teams are going to lock down. Their defense is going to get better. A lot of these NBA playoff teams that have been there before, they're going to step it up defensively. And right now, you are not at that level, anywhere near that level.
And the thing is, one of the reasons that defense tightens up and locks down when you get later in the season, especially when you get in the playoffs, is because benches shorten, Nick. So then teams more often than not, when you're a playoff team, your best defensive players are more a part of the rotation. They're getting heavier minutes because you've shortened your bench. With the Kings, when they shorten their bench, man, they're probably cutting out their best defensive players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't see where the cavalry is when we talk about the defense, unless there's a move to be made.
The on-ball defense is just, I mean, it's not competitive enough. There are too many guys that are getting into the paint and either creating for teammates or getting layups / dunks. It's too much. It's stay in front. And what's irritating, and I would imagine a lot of Kings fans, I heard Deuce talking about this before us. A lot of these things are like things that you can control, right? Like getting out rebounded the way they were on Saturday night. It's all about group effort on the glass.
Yep.
I mean, they've shown it before. They out rebounded a team like Orlando, who's a very big team. Group rebounding, box somebody out. Find a body. Stop letting guys just drive by you with Olay defense. Like, stay in front.
Yep.
Try to stay in front. Give that effort. And it's the lack of consistency. And one more thing I will say, they've got to start winning more games at Golden One. This fan base is too good. That building is too loud. And they're 15-10 at home right now. That's not good enough. 15-10 is not good enough.
Won a big one at home on Friday.
So you've got to, we'll get to it, but you've got to be better at home. You've got to be more competitive defensively on a consistent basis. And you got to do the small things, the little things, man, 50-50 balls, rebounds. That's what you've got to do, because you lost that game because 23 second chance points. Just put it on that statistic alone.
Yep.
Box people out, man. Do something. All right, we'll get your thoughts on the Kings' disappointing loss on Saturday night against Philly. Text lines 916-339-1140. Phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Don't forget, you can hit us up on YouTube as well, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. We'll get to your reaction. Also, did the 49ers' path just get easier to a Super Bowl? That's next.
Cattles.
And Ramie.
Sactown Sports. The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sactown Sports.
He's got the bucket at the buzzer. Harrison Barnes.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Harrison Barnes, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather.
Up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Lock in for Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
I don't know about you, but I've had enough of the For You tab on Twitter.
Yeah.
Time to fire that into the sun.
You know what's for me?
What I want to follow.
The things I actually follow.
Yeah.
That's why I follow them.
Yes.
Because they're for me.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Elon Musk.
And the fact that every time I sign into Twitter or I go to my Twitter on my phone, it immediately sends me to the For You. Like it forces me there.
Right.
Like even if you wanted to put it up top, it allowed me to make the decision between For You and following. Fine. But the fact that you're shoehorning this thing down my throat.
Even like it. Let's say I get bored with my timeline. That happens every once in a while. I'm just sitting on my couch.
How do you get bored with your timeline? You followed like 7,000 people.
Because I just scroll Twitter endlessly sometimes.
Ramie's addicted to Twitter.
I might have a problem. I don't know. I'm just saying, if I got bored with my timeline, I might go to that and be like, let me see if I can find some new content and people to follow. But when you're forcing it down my throat, it makes me not want to look at it.
It's working. It's working for me.
You like it?
See, you're the one.
I'm following people. I'm sorry.
See,
Simone, you're the problem.
Yeah, that's what happens. And you want to know what else is going on today?
What's that?
You see what Simone's wearing? Simone, you want to show the Sactown Sports shirt you're wearing off to Ramie?
Those are nice.
Because did you
Where
get one?
are ours? I knew that was coming.
I literally went from program director of this radio station and brand
out of the loop
to not even getting a shirt.
I got asked if I wanted one too. I'm sorry.
Asked?
Yeah.
Oh, huh.
Watkins had a shirt on too. Watkins had the same shirt on.
Watkins had one.
Yeah.
Same brain.
Fine.
Wow.
Fine.
Those are
2:32.
real nice. If anyone's listening, those are real nice.
Time check brought to you by West Coast Men's Health Acoustic Wave Therapy. We want to get into nope, can't do it anymore.
We can't vote Kings anymore, Ramie.
It's officially over.
It ended on Saturday.
Right. Somebody actually posted that in the YouTube chat. I think his name's Colin.
I don't want any illegal votes coming in. We don't need that kind of controversy.
Let's go, Sacramento.
Come on, stop the steal. Colin Ward put up "Can't vote Kings." That was the first comment today. Can't vote Kings, letting you know that you cannot vote Kings anymore.
Push back against this Austin Reeves conspiracy.
It's too late. Too little, too late. Before we get to whether or not the path for the Niners to the Super Bowl got easier over the weekend, let's go to Edward. Edward wants to talk about Cowboys Niners. Hey, Edward.
Hey, guys. Hey, I was listening earlier on my way to work, and I kind of disagree with the comments on the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys defense outplayed the Niners defense, and Dak Prescott, the second to the last drive, he missed the seam route, which probably would have went for a touch. And then that last drive, he missed a first down swing pass. I think their loss is on him. I think Niners played well, don't get me wrong, and I wish him luck, but I think it was truly Dak Prescott that lost the game for him.
All right, Edward, thank you. Thank you for listening, and thank you for giving us a call. Appreciate it. Look, I don't disagree that the Cowboys defense played well. Cowboys defense played well enough to win that game. I mentioned Mike McCarthy. I mentioned Dak Prescott. I mentioned the offense having a bad day. The Tony Pollard injury also didn't help. That's one of their most dynamic offensive players, and he went down. Apparently, that's a fractured fibula, so just terrible for him. But yeah, I mean, I think defensively speaking, the Cowboys were fine.
They're real good.
Yeah.
And Nick, I forget which game it was, but you brought up the quarterback curve in terms of who the 49ers were going against versus who their opponent was going against. And the Niners had more points and more yards with Brock Purdy at quarterback than the Cowboys did with Dak Prescott at quarterback. So if we're grading on the curve of who the competition is, think the 49ers had a far better day defensively. And I know Dak has had his issues this year, led the NFL in interceptions, but part of the reason he looked so bad is because of what the Niners defense was doing, because of what DeMeco Ryans was throwing at him. And like I said, linebackers who were able to run with wide receivers, with CeeDee Lamb. You know what I mean? That causes problems for a quarterback because all of a sudden his first option is taken away by a linebacker, and he's got cornerbacks and safeties on his second and third option.
Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports. Meanwhile, when we look at this path now for the Niners, we know what the AFC Championship game is going to be. It's going to be Bengals-Chiefs once again. It's going to be the rematch. And I thought Buffalo was very disappointing yesterday. They laid an egg in front of their home crowd. They did almost nothing right.
I hate you.
I do a podcast with Greg Bedard, and Greg has said all year, you put on the film of that Buffalo offense, it's Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And if you limit Diggs, you limit that offense. They can't run the ball. Buffalo has had the same issues for the last couple of years. They don't run the ball effectively, and they're not very good stopping the run. And, you know, since he knew that, and since he ran it down their throat, Joe Burrow was great. They limited Stephon Diggs. And all of a sudden you look up and this Bills offense just is not consistent in the elements, which is a heck of a thing when you're putting together a roster to play in Buffalo.
Why is that, Nick?
You know, you have this roster that looks like they can't play in the snow. And since he walks out, they're like, no big deal, ho hum, we're going to put it to you. So, you know, this Buffalo, it's going to be interesting. They've got a lot of unrestricted free agents that are coming up.
And the whole Stephon Diggs thing could be nothing. His outline,
him yelling
his
at
sideline outburst. He left the locker room before the coaches even got in there, and then was brought back in and quickly left after the coaches spoke. Could be nothing. All of that could be nothing, and just a guy who, you know, his emotions got the best of him after a big loss. But with Stephon Diggs, man, and I'll take him in a heartbeat. Like I would take that guy on my team.
Did the same stuff in Minnesota. He's very emotional.
He might have a shelf life.
He's very emotional
in terms of his time in a locker room or within an organization. I'll take him for whatever that shelf life is.
That's a problem for Buffalo, though, because his brand new contract for 4 years goes into effect starting next year, and Josh Allen's 6-year contract goes into effect next year. They're going to make a combined $50 million against the cap.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're married to those two guys, and Josh Allen's obviously terrific. But Diggs definitely lets his emotions get the best of him at times, and we saw that yesterday when he's giving him the business. If I'm Josh Allen, I'm like, dude, what do you want me to do? Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, high football IQ, tough as nails, accurate,
that guy's awesome, man.
And plenty of swag. Here he was in the post game with Tracy Wolfson.
Yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder, everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
You better send those refunds. Meanwhile, Chiefs, Jags, the number one.
I just saw the Patrick Mahomes injury on the TV and cringed again.
The number one headline out of that game is exactly that. It's Mahomes' high ankle sprain. Chad Henne led a 98-yard touchdown drive. Says a lot about Henne. Says a lot about Andy Reid's play calling ability to get that touchdown. But look, Mahomes, I'm not a doctor, Ramie, not a doctor, but high ankle sprain usually does not get much better within like a week. So if Mahomes plays this weekend in the AFC Championship game, I would have to imagine we are going to see a very limited, from an athletic standpoint, Patrick Mahomes.
Tony Romo was caught off guard by a question from, did you see this moment?
Yeah, when he was eating.
He was eating, and Jim Nance
that was one of my favorite moments of the weekend. That was great.
Jim Nance asked him about a high ankle sprain. He said, when it happens, and you know you're all warmed up and adrenaline's pumping, and you're in the heat of battle, you can put some weight on that thing and you can move around on it. He said by the next day or 2 days after, you can't walk on it. He said Patrick Mahomes will be on crutches by Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a process of seeing if you can get it back to game shape by Sunday. And there are tricks that go with that, shall we say?
I believe Chris Collinsworth called them halftime adjustments.
Yes, halftime adjustments that come in a syringe or the form of a pill.
Yeah, give him a shot.
Yeah.
Give him a shot of pain.
I can't see Patrick Mahomes not playing on Sunday.
No, I think he'll play. It's just, again,
how much
he'll be able to move around on that foot.
What percentage of Patrick Mahomes will you get?
Because that would change the defensive game plan. And since his defense is good and, they're going to go after Mahomes if he can't move around.
Which they should.
So we'll see how it all unfolds. But should be 2 very good championship games. All right, coming up, a real-life hero update. And what is Shannon Sharpe doing?
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports goes 100% live and local.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Starting January 23rd. Tune into Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Followed by the return of Deuce and Mo.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Followed by Cattles and Ramie from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You wanted more local? We're giving you more local on Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, continues their $500 primetime football giveaway through the playoffs. That's $500 per game for the late games played Saturday and Sunday night. Still located conveniently downtown in a friendly environment. For the best food, best service, and best actions, it's Capital Casino, open 24/7. And please, as always, remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
The show is sponsored by BetterHelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of yourself. BetterHelp is a great therapy option. It's flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Let therapy help empower you. Visit betterhelp.com/herd. betterhelp.com/herd to get 10% off your first month. BetterHelp, HELP.com/herd.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Is your tub worn out, but you're not sure who to trust to replace it? With over 2 million successful bath remodels, people trust Bathfitter because we know how to do it right. We've been custom designing and manufacturing baths for over 35 years. Our unique tub-over-tub installation takes as little as a day with no demo to fit your busy schedule. And we offer a lifetime warranty on every tub. That's how confident we are in our quality and durability. Bathfitter. It just fits. Visit bathfitter.com to book your free consultation.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4 trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
It all started with a group of cowboys who broke from the mold and wanted more. 30 years later, the ride continues, and the professional bull riders have never been more ranked.
The best ever! We were here for it!
Don't be a... Celebrate 30 years with 3 huge nights this February 3rd through 5th at the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento. Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.com or the Golden One Center box office.
Start the new year right at Maida Chevy with huge dealer discounts and great factory incentives on new Silverado half-tons with 2.7-liter engines.
See all the savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Ends 13123, ID 107046.
One brings Makloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
It is 2:44 on this Monday. Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. We have a great update for everybody out there on a hero. And that is not hyperbolic.
Yeah, people throw that word around.
Yeah. Not throwing it around in this case. Peyton Hillis. Now, I was talking to Kelly about this over the weekend. Like, Damar Hamlin, fantastic story, right? And he has gotten so many headlines, and rightfully so. But I do feel like Peyton Hillis has kind of been overlooked because the football world has been solely focused almost on Hamlin. Meanwhile, Peyton Hillis literally saving lives.
And he's removed from the game by a few years. So, yeah.
Right. But saving lives and putting his life on the line. Former Arkansas NFL running back Hillis, this is from Jake Trotter of ESPN, has been discharged from the hospital 2 weeks after he reportedly rescued family members during a swimming accident. Hillis's girlfriend, Angela Cole, posted a photo Friday on Instagram of Hillis with the medical team that cared for him in Pensacola, Florida. Quote, "The amount of love and gratitude I have for the incredible team that took care of Peyton is indescribable," she wrote. "Y'all worked like a perfected machine with each and every one of you, so kind, attentive, calming, and caring." Hillis had been hospitalized since he reportedly aided in a water rescue back on June 4th off the coast of Pensacola that involved at least one family member. According to Escambia County Emergency Services, 4 people, 2 adults and 2 children, were struggling in the water when a bystander helped them get out. Hillis was on a ventilator in intensive care before being taken off it last week. So Hillis has recovered. He's back home with his children and with his girlfriend.
That's great.
So fantastic news. But yeah, I feel like this is like one of those stories that nobody really talked about much.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of talk about it. I haven't seen a lot of stories about it. It would pop up on my timeline every once in a while on Twitter, but really
in the For You or the following?
No, in the following.
Okay.
Yeah, in the following.
All right.
So not a lot of discussion about it, but man, oh man, just an unbelievable story, and happy that he's feeling much better.
When you I didn't mean to chuckle when you were talking about a serious story like that, but
yes.
when you mentioned Damar Hamlin, did you see some of the, I know we didn't talk about this beforehand, but this just popped to mind.
Okay.
Some of the conspiracy theories about Damar Hamlin? No? Okay.
I think I know what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
That wasn't Damar Hamlin.
Oh, you're saying the guy in the suite?
Yeah, the guy who was at the Bills game yesterday.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the injury, the conspiracy theories that were going around about that.
To that.
People, I thought that's where Ramie was going.
No, this is new. This is just today.
So some people thought it was not Hamlin.
Not
in the
Damar
suite.
Hamlin at the game yesterday.
It was just somebody they paid to act
I like
as
the
Damar
joke
Hamlin.
that said he was the dealer from Deal or No Deal.
Yeah.
That you can't really see because the snow was blocking the shot of Hamlin.
Can I say something
People
about that?
think he's no longer with us.
He's
and
here.
that wasn't really him yesterday.
Well,
Dark.
Why are we even wasting time on it? Why? Why are we even paying attention to those people?
Oh yeah, give me your booze.
Like,
I am nourished
why do
your
we
hatred.
even? Why do we give them life? Why do we give those people breath? Why do we even
See,
care?
Ramie, this is why we have the For You section on Twitter.
I was just gonna say, why didn't that show up for me? I'm not getting conspiracy theories.
What do we?
Ramie's Twitter algorithm is all messed up, man.
Can I just say this?
Sure.
I thought yesterday when they kept showing Hamlin.
Yeah. You were like, is that really him?
No.
Oh, okay.
Like you couldn't see anything. And so I understand, like, before the game, the TV crew's like, oh, Hamlin's gonna be in the suite. We gotta get a video of him, right?
Sure.
But when you go to it and you can't see any, stop
you can't
going
get
to
the
it.
shot. You can't get
It's
the
like,
shot.
no, Damar
Right.
Hamlin's there. Keep looking,
Trust
people.
us.
Static.
It's up there. Trust
Static
us.
on the
As
TV.
soon as they score a touchdown, there has to be a director going, get the Hamlin shot, get the Hamlin shot. It's like, dude, we see just snow. It's all we see with.
Maybe there's a reason they couldn't get a good shot of him.
Wow.
No, he was there. By the way, Shannon Sharpe. What is going on with Shannon Sharpe?
He's a crazy person.
The Grizzlies, the Morants. He's in his cardigan, standing on the floor, yelling at
cardigan,
people.
dude.
It was a sweet
That's a
cardigan, but that's
sweet
not.
cardigan.
I just don't think fight when I see somebody wearing that. That doesn't scream to me.
Let me
Hey,
button
man.
up.
I got my cardigan on. We're gonna throw down. All right. Is that what we do when we wear cardigans? We throw down. And like he's just like, I mean, he looked great in the cardigan. Cardigan was great.
You better bring it.
But what are we doing? And if you didn't see this, you're living under a rock. But for those who didn't see it, Shannon Sharpe's mouthing off to the Grizzlies, and Dylan Brooks is involved because he's always involved. He can't help himself. And then John Morant's father, T, gets involved. Steven Adams walks over. If there's one dude I would not want to fight on the Grizzlies,
yeah,
I feel like it's Steven Adams.
Shannon Sharpe was naming off guys on the Grizzlies who didn't want that smoke after the game.
Oh, yeah, this is what he said. Hold on. I got the quote. He said to ESPN, they didn't want this smoke. They do all that talking and jockeying, and I ain't about that jockeying. I'm about that cardigan. He didn't say that.
No.
It started with Dylan Brooks. I said he was too small to guard LeBron. He said, bleep me. I said, bleep you back. He started to come at me, and I said, you don't want these problems. And then Ja came out of nowhere talking. He definitely didn't want these problems. Then the dad came, and he obviously didn't want no problems. But I wanted anything they had. Don't let these fools fool you.
Notice he specifically didn't mention.
Yeah, notice Steven Adams was not mentioned.
Yeah, he did not mention the giant Steven Adams, who was literally like face to face with him at one point.
Aquaman.
Like saying, enough is enough, bro. What are we doing here?
Yeah, Steven Adams wanted those problems.
And this is like
Steven Adams was ready to grab a hold of that cardigan.
Yeah, and Shannon didn't want that problem. Shannon was willing to take on the Dylan Brooks problem and the John Morant. John's about 180 pounds. Shannon's like, let's go.
Also brought up the fact he was wearing like $6,000 Jordans. Also,
who's that?
That would be Shannon Sharpe.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you do when you're courtside when you crypto.com arena.
When you get paid millions of dollars to just talk about nothing.
You know what I think it is? Can I tell you what I think it is? My theory.
What is it?
Shannon Sharpe is losing his mind from working with Skip Bayless every day. Like, he's literally going crazy.
That's another
from
guy.
Working with Skip Bayless.
That's
every
another
day.
guy that like we just don't need to bring up anymore.
Yeah, give me your booze.
I saw his
nourished by your hatred.
I saw his video on Twitter.
Throwing away
like,
Dak's jersey.
Like it's like at like 4 million views. Like, don't you understand? You're feeding the beast. Yeah. Like that's all you're doing. He's seeing the views and he's like, got him again.
That's why I stopped engaging with him years ago.
Like he couldn't care less about what people are saying about him. He doesn't care. Just stop mentioning his name. But I do want to get to the Shannon Sharpe apology because he was talking about to ESPN about, nobody wants to smoke. Nobody wants this smoke. Well, here was Sharpe today on his show. I don't even know the name of the show. What's the name of the show? That he's on?
Undisputed.
Well, there you go.
I was
Here
about
he
to
is.
say get up.
Thanks.
Heard or have seen Friday night at the Lakers game, I want to apologize for my behavior. Guys, I've preached for the last 6.5 years, responsibility and accountability. And I take full responsibility for what transpired. It does not matter what Dylan Brooks said or how many times he said it. Me being the responsible person, me having the platform that I have and having so many people look up to me, I was wrong.
He went on for like 2.5 minutes apologizing. Much different when the bosses talk to you. Much different when you got to go on TV and apologize.
You know what I'm most upset about if I'm Shannon Sharpe's bosses?
What's that?
Why did the quote go to ESPN, dude? You worked for Fox Sports.
Because Fox didn't have anybody there.
You went and sought out ESPN. So call somebody and give your quote to somebody at Fox Sports.
Yeah, Chris Broussard.
Why is ESPN getting the exclusive? Why is ESPN getting the exclusive from you, Shannon?
Because, dude, you think he thought this through? He's standing on the floor with a cardigan yelling at the entire Grizzlies team. Do you think there was any thought process? Literally, somebody walked up to him and was like, I'm with ESPN. You want to talk, Shannon? And Shannon can't help himself.
McMenamin got the quote.
Shannon can't help himself.
He's ready to talk anytime you ask.
Yeah. He couldn't stop talking when he was playing. He can't stop talking now. They're like, hey, you got a quote? Yeah, I got a quote. And then blah, 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 verbal diarrhea for 30 seconds.
Did you see Dylan Brooks after the game and the outfit he was rocking when he talked to reporters? With the jeans.
I don't know who I care less about. Dylan Brooks, Shannon Sharpe, Skip Bayless, or the crazy conspiracy theorists who don't think Hamlin survived.
Somebody said
what about John Morant's dad?
Nice.
Yeah, he's all right. Somebody said Dylan Brooks is wearing the outfit that you start Grand Theft Auto.
Someone said he was looking like Brock Lesnar.
I mean, what are we doing? Anyway, 49ers move on. Our thoughts on the quarterback next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sactown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
This is Monster Jam! Get ready for massive stunts, all-out racing, and crazy skills. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the drivers, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks up close. Get your $20 pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. It's full throttle family fun. Coming to Golden One Center this weekend.
4 NFL teams, 2 conference championship games, and only a few more shots to win big on the playoffs with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Counting down to Super Bowl 57, new customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use promo code FSR. New customers can bet $5 on the conference championships and get $200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with promo code FSR. 21 and over in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Void in Ohio and Ontario. Bonus issued as free bets. 1 boost per eligible game. Deposit, parlay, and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/football terms.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all areas. Actual apply customer.
The other workers' comp insurance company, they were going to reclassify our business, and then they were going to charge me $50,000.
Meet Natalie, owner of the carpentry shop. Shocked by an unexpected bill, she knew it was time to switch her workers' comp provider. That's when she found Pi Insurance.
When we got the quote back from Pi, it was a sigh of relief. They put us in a policy where we fit.
Is your small business overpaying for workers' comp insurance? See how much you could save at trypi.com. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified.
I'm grateful that there's a company out there that's willing to insure us little guys because every dollar counts.
With Pi Insurance, you get pricing and coverage made for small businesses. What are you waiting for? Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote in 3 minutes at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
KH2KAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the flagship station of your Sacramento Kings.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickford. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Snaps it back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
the 49ers are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Cattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Log in for Cattles and Ramie.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, so this used to be the first hour. Now it's the second hour.
Hour 2.
So we still have 3 hours. How's the gas tank?
It's good right now.
Yeah? Feeling good?
I'll go to cup of coffee number 2 for the show, 4 for the day, about an hour.
You have this like paced out.
Yeah.
See, I don't drink caffeine, so
which is amazing.
Whatever I've got, I've got.
To me.
It's all, what I got is what I give you. When it's empty, it's empty, Ramie.
Never thought about supplementing?
Nope.
The energy supply?
Nope.
All right.
Is that what you call it? Supplementing?
Yeah. No supplements here, Ramie. No supplements here. Second hour of the radio program. Thanks for joining us as always on this Monday. Brock Purdy. Here is my disclaimer, because I know there are going to be listeners that listen to this segment and they say, oh, why are you being, mean to Brock Purdy? So let me just say this. And I've said this consistently week after week. Brock Purdy is a fantastic story. It's a great story. I hope he wins the Super Bowl. I hope they write a movie about him. I hope everything goes great for this young man. He has been a tremendous find for the Niners. He has played as well as you could hope he would play given the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been a great story. But yesterday, he was not the story. And, completing 65% of your passes, okay. He threw for 214 yards. No turnovers. Now, that's the big number. No turnovers, right? He did not turn the ball over. And as I said, if Purdy doesn't puke on himself, you feel like he's accomplished the goal.
I said on Friday, if he doesn't give them the ball, Dak Prescott will probably give you the ball at least once or twice.
Yes.
And if that happens, you should win the game.
And that's exactly how it played out. So Brock Purdy is a great story. He threw for 214 yards yesterday. No touchdowns, no picks. Here was George Kittle in the postgame.
Brock Purdy gets the NFC Championship game. I mean, he's only won, I think, like 7 in a row now. Good job, Brock. Playing at a high level, getting our best players in football. He's awesome and confident in the huddle. He's just doing a great job. And the best part is he shows up every single day. He's humble, and all he wants to do is to get better. And he's going to be great for us next week. And just continue on after that.
All right. Looking at Purdy yesterday on the field, Ramie, on the field, your thoughts on how he played?
He wasn't great by any means, and this kind of goes back to the conversations that we had about Jimmy Garoppolo early in the year, which is I'm gonna grade this dude based on expectations.
Right.
You know what I mean? I never expected Brock Purdy to carry this offense or to carry this football team someplace special. You know what I mean? If that's what you're holding out your hopes for, then you're probably going to end your season with disappointment at some point. You know what I mean? If they're going to get where they're going to go, as we talked about in the first hour of the show, it's going to happen because of the defense and because of the run game. That being said, he's exceeded expectations. This offense has reached new heights with Brock Purdy that they hadn't reached with Jimmy Garoppolo, or the small glimpse that we got with Trey Lance. What were they, 31 points a game since Brock Purdy took over as the quarterback. And yesterday, man, if you just want to take yesterday as a snapshot, he's going against a really good defense in Dallas.
Yeah.
And a defense that wreaks havoc on quarterbacks. That's what they probably do best of anything that defense does well is wreak havoc on quarterbacks and get after quarterbacks. And not only did they get him off his spot yesterday, they stayed in his face and didn't let him scramble and make plays as we've seen him do off schedule since he took that job over. He's been able to create time with his feet and make plays or wait for people to make plays, I guess is probably a more accurate way of putting it, that he could dump the ball off to and they could run 70 yards with it. But yesterday, the Cowboys were taking all that away from him. And honestly, I still walked away kind of impressed to be in the situation that they were in. When they get the ball there and they go 10 plays, 6 minutes, they get the touchdown, they take commanding control of the football game, at least 5 yards per play on the first 6 plays of that drive. That was sort of maybe not the nail in the coffin, but that was when you felt like all the air had come out of the balloon for the Dallas Cowboys. That's in spots like that, you need your quarterback to come through, and he did.
So I think what we saw yesterday was what happens if the bells and whistles are stripped, right? Like if you take away all the yak, if you take away all the great scheming and the foolery of defenses, and you don't have wide open guys down the field just kind of running away from the defense, you're not throwing 8-yard passes to Debo for a 74-yard touchdown. I think what we saw yesterday was Brock Purdy, his level, if he doesn't have everything around him working perfectly, which is not a shot at Brock Purdy. It's the point of Brock Purdy is not going to be, at least not right now. I'm not telling you he can't be this a year from now. I would never put a cap on somebody's ceiling that is so young and just started out at this level. But Brock Purdy right now is somebody who is not going to be able to elevate the team if certain things are not working in their favor, right? So what we saw was a game manager yesterday, which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine for where he was drafted and the expectations for him, fine. I talk about this because I want to give this young man a chance, and I don't want people to get too far ahead. I've been saying this since day one with him. Embrace the story, embrace Brock Purdy, enjoy watching him, but understand he is a limited quarterback. He might not be limited forever, but he is a limited quarterback. And when he's got his receivers and his running backs giving him all sorts of extra padded stats, those stats are going to look a lot better. And it goes back to the point that I made on Friday, which was we can all talk about the points per game since Brock's been starting quarterback. To me, when you throw the starting quarterback out there and you put they're scoring 30-plus points a game, it tries to imply that they're scoring 30-plus points a game because that quarterback is just out of this world. And I don't like that. It's the same idea of the yards per play thing on Friday that we talked about. But yards per play are going to be jacked up when you get one catch for 74 yards.
I'm not saying it's because of him, but you can't operate at that level without your quarterback doing some things right. Your offense can't operate at that level without your quarterback doing some things right. And you're right when you talk about
my point is if Brock Purdy was on another team that was structured differently, then I don't think we would be seeing the success of that team like the Niners have. The fact is Brock Purdy right now is an average quarterback, and he processes things quickly, and he doesn't he doesn't throw bad passes and create turnovers for the most part. He's gotten away with a number of them, but that's another point for another day.
Sure.
He still doesn't see linebackers on the second level and underneath coverage, but that's something to tackle later on. But if you put him on any other one of these teams, I don't think you see this level of team is what I'm talking about, right? If you put him on the Chiefs, he is in a perfect situation for who he is.
Absolutely.
And so I just, when I look at that game yesterday, I think that game shows you that Brock he's a great story, but he's ultimately limited because he doesn't have the ceiling right now that other quarterbacks have in these moments, right? Like Dak was terrible. I'm talking about when you watch some of these other quarterbacks in the playoffs, he's not going to reach that level. So you need other things to work. You need your defense to be great.
For sure.
You need your run game in the second half to help take over, and you run for almost 90 yards in the second half after running for almost 30 in the first half. Like, there's no coincidence that you had 27 rushing yards in the first half and you put up 9 points. Like, because you need that run game.
I think some people might roll their eyes at this. Nick, you might roll your eyes at this. One of the intangible, because from a skill level, you're right. He's average in most areas. I think his mobility and his ability to create plays off schedule is maybe above average, and a lot of that is aided by the fact that when he does get out of the pocket, his receivers, Travis Kelce, Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, they're very good at the scramble drill and getting to places where he can get the ball and then make big things happen with it after that. Outside of that, if you're talking about his physical ability, he's mostly average in most areas. The one intangible where I think he is well above average, Nick, is I don't know if you would say between the ears, his ability to not let any moment be too big for him. That drive that I just talked about.
No doubt, the poise.
Tim Kawakami talked about the fact that huddle is used to looking around in big spots like that and everybody being locked in. You can just look in your teammates' eyes and everybody is locked in. You know what we need to do in this moment. For Brock Purdy to fit in with that group and for his expression to be as stone-faced as it was and as seemingly as ready for that moment and not overwhelmed by that moment as the rest of his veteran teammates who've been here and done it before. That's not something you can say for not just rookies, for a lot of quarterbacks, period, in this league. That moment can get the best of a lot of guys. We saw Donovan McNabb throw up on a field because the moment was too big for him, and he's not the only one. He's just the one that comes to mind because it was graphic and the cameras caught it very clearly. But he wouldn't be the first quarterback for a moment like that to get the best of him. And for him to not let a moment like that get the best of him in his rookie year, I think is really, really impressive, Nick. That aspect of his game is far beyond average.
I just look at this team and I say what I said at the beginning of the year. I feel the same way about this football team. If the defense plays great and you can run the football, you can win a championship. And that was the fact with Trey Lance. That was the fact with Jimmy Garoppolo. Sure. And that remains the fact with Brock Purdy. And I just think yesterday showed you that you do have a slim margin for error. If some of those things are not going great, Brock Purdy is not the guy where you just say, all right, man, take us to the promised land. And I want to make sure that people aren't treating him as such because I think it's unfair to the player. He's been again, great story. And he hasn't puked on himself. His poise has been fantastic. All the things you just mentioned, absolutely correct. He's kept his cool. He's done what he has had to do. Mm-hmm. But I do think, we have to look at it and say, you still need those other elements to be really good
for sure
to win this title.
For sure.
So if you don't have that against Philly, I don't think Brock Purdy's the guy that says, okay, well, the offense isn't really clicking here and the defense isn't playing great. I'm going to throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns. That's not what's going on here. So I just think we have to stay mindful of that and be fair to the human being and the quarterback. Your thoughts, Brock Purdy, 916-339-1140 is the text line. The phone number is 1-800-920-1140. Again, the phone number is 1-800-920-1140. You can check us out on YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Don't forget to like us. The more likes that we get, the more people will actually see this chat and this channel. So we want more eyeballs. We want to grow the community. Again, it's youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Get to your thoughts on the Niners. Also, it was a celebratory night for the show on Friday, Ramie. We're going to explain in 90 seconds.
Sactown Sports goes 100% live and local.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Starting January 23rd. Tune into Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Followed by the return of Deuce and Mo.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Followed by Cattles and Ramie from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You wanted more local? We're giving you more local on Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
So, a little thing about this Phil Collins song, one of my favorites of all time. Also, Kevin Garnett's favorite song.
Really?
Yes. They used to play this at TD Garden when KG became a Celtic.
I know this was Ray Lewis's pregame hype-up music.
Well, good for Ray.
You've resisted the air drum temptation. We tried to bait you.
Well, it happened pretty quickly. So it's just like it came on like a second in. It was Phil Collins, a very, very good drummer in his day.
I gave it 8 seconds.
He can't play. There was no way that was 8 seconds. Phil Collins cannot play the drums anymore, unfortunately, because he's just physically broken down.
Oh, really?
But great drummer. Some of Genesis stuff from like the 70s. Check out.
Is that the most iconic drum beat right there?
It's one of the best.
Be, right?
One of the best breaks. Yeah. Phil's of all time. One of them.
Musical terms. Breaks.
It's a Phil. So
a Phil. Ooh. Whoa. Take it easy.
What are we doing here?
Easy
Nick
there.
Cattle's music enthusiast.
So quick story, if I could get to it, about that song. At my bar in Virginia Beach. So it became a thing. My co-owner would play that song like at halftime of football games and stuff. And then we played it and it started like really pick up steam where like that Phil, when it gets to that part, the whole bar will slam on the tables and play it in unison.
Fun.
So then we started doing it like bingo night. It was great. Like in the middle of bingo night, like we'll just play the song and then everybody in the bar does it together.
What about the beverages? No beverages being tipped?
Spillage.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little spillage.
All right.
Nothing crazy. So we're not tossing tables over, Simone. I mean, it's not like a cage match. WWE.
That's my number one concern. Always looking out for the people.
Well, thank you.
I'm still just impressed by the musical terms.
Phil,
break,
drum Phil.
Yeah.
Ramie didn't hear anything you said after that.
No, it just went blank. Anyway,
it's like Nick knows stuff.
Can we just talk about? You know what I know? I know the Cattle's curse is over.
Whoa!
It was a big night.
You're
Friday night.
It dead?
Yes, it's over. That's it. Donezo. Once the Kings win, when I'm in the building, the weight is lifted off the shoulder.
Okay.
It's
I thought
over.
we might need a little more of a sample size.
No.
Okay,
One game, one and done. I'm moving on.
Keep my crystal. Keep it.
I'm moving on. So big night Friday night. We killed the curse. We did this as a collective effort. And I will say this. They got down early.
Yeah, they
were down at the half.
I told you.
And there was a little concern going on.
I told you to get out.
There's a little bit of panic. You did.
In no uncertain
You
terms.
did. You said get out. You text get out.
I told him to switch the pockets for the crystal.
I told him to just leave, Simone. You're nicer than me.
For a lot, text run.
Frustrated and angry.
So, but we did it. We did. And here's what happened. So I'm sitting there, and I will say this. Kelly was as invested at a basketball game as I have ever seen her invested.
Really? Okay.
She wanted to get rid of the curse as badly as I did. She was standing up and losing her mind. You can ask Pat from KNCI. He was sitting right next to us.
Probably because she felt how much tension it was causing you.
Yeah.
That she needed it to end.
I was stressed.
Bing bong.
I was stressed. And Friday I called my shot on the show, which brought even more stress.
Yeah, you did. You put it on the record.
But it doesn't matter now. It's over.
It's over.
At halftime, the Kings were down. And I said, all right, we got to change things. And somebody tweeted at me. I forget who it was. I got a bunch of tweets. Thanks to everybody who they were tweeting at me. The curse is broken. It was absolutely fantastic. All of you wishing me luck before the game. And then somebody just tweeted me, put the damn shirt on.
Were you not wearing the shirt?
I was not wearing the shirt. I told you what my plan was, and it worked. I'm Kyle Shanahan. I had a crystal ball, Ramie. I told you.
Not have ever had to
the
be
first
that
half
close
of the game.
If you just
You're
put the
1-4,
shirt on.
sounding like Urban Meyer over there.
The first half of the game, want to settle in and see what's going on. And then at halftime, I said, "All right, it's time. We gotta go to drastic measures."
You tempted fate, bro.
I put a bowling shirt over my hoodie, and I put the quartz crystal from Simone. I put that in the pocket of the bowling shirt.
Nice.
And I said, "Let's ride like Russell Wilson."
What about the cowbell and the noisemakers? That JJ
Cowbell
and I
was
gave
in
you
my pocket.
respectively? Okay.
Noisemakers were noisy.
Okay.
One of them is dead. God rest.
Dead?
It was deflated before I even got there. It was deflating. It
Can't
was.
trust you with that either.
Kelly took a picture of it to give you evidence that it was that I did not do anything.
Sounds like the Mackloff magic didn't keep it alive.
So banging them sticks. The quartz crystal was in the pocket. The bowling shirt was on. The cowbell was in the jacket pocket. And we were rolling.
We did it.
And we did it.
We did it.
We
guys.
did it, ladies and gentlemen.
As a team.
I mean, I don't want to tell you that I'm the reason why the Kings won on Friday night, but I am the reason why the Kings won on Friday night.
Well,
fact.
Me, Simone, JJ,
No.
and Verlad.
Listen, you can talk about
and our help was the reason that you.
Soap and
right.
Mackloff magic.
People will say it might have been Keegan Murray's 29 and 14. No. It was the Cattle's breaking of the curse. That's what happened. Imagine if I went Saturday.
If they lose the next 5 that you go to,
No.
I don't know that we can declare this curse.
I
dead.
walked out of
You know
that
what I mean?
building with a W.
I don't know.
That's all I know.
We need to revisit this.
Domas
In
had
the
a triple
future.
dub, 18, 14, and 14. I was worried just because of the curse, but the basketball mind of mine was sitting there at halftime going, I'm not too concerned. I even tweeted it. I'm like, OKC is not going to shoot 57%.
See, I wasn't even
entire
thinking
game.
about the basketball of it. I was just thinking about the fact that you were in the building and things were going the way that they were going.
Brought home a dub.
Okay.
That's all that matters.
All right. I'm just saying, if they lose the next 5 that you go to, might have to revisit this.
The Sacramento Kings going to break the curse.
No. I broke the curse, Mark. I broke the curse. By the way, can I just also say that the officiating was awful on Friday night?
Terrible.
Holy crap. Kevin Herter, that play happened in front of me. I was not right in front of me. I was sitting far up, but it was in front of me. I didn't get the Ramie seats. So Herter was like
Kevin Herter.
He was obviously pushed out of bounds when he gets the inbound late in that game.
Dude, he was
and the
hot.
ref was like a foot away from the play.
He was looking right at it. Herter was hot after that. I don't know. I've seen him that lose his temper like that.
I'm so thankful they won that game because the Cattle's curse would have been in full effect if they lost that lead late.
I'm telling you.
With that officiating was an atrocity.
Might have had to ban you.
To your point, Ramie, I don't think Herter was that mad even after the Klay Thompson foul. The first week of the season.
Dude,
on the last second
4 or
shot.
5 guys, couple players, couple coaches, all had to pull him back.
Oh yeah,
before he got a tee and really made things interesting.
Herter looked like he wanted to murder somebody. And Tony Brothers is not a good official. He's not good. He's not been good for a while.
Tell us how you really feel.
He stinks.
Stop sugarcoating things, Nick.
It's awful. He should retire.
He's
had a good run.
I still don't have a really good idea about how you feel about this guy.
By the way, Chimezi Metu was at shoot-around today. So I know some
That's
people
good.
were a little freaked out about the knee, but he was at shoot-around. Don't know if he's going to play. Also, about tonight's game against the Grizzlies, Steven Adams and John Morant are both questionable. So we'll keep an eye on that to see if they play.
No
word yet. We'll see if they play. It usually comes down about an hour or so before the game. Of course, this game tips off at 7:30.
Your boys got the recap. Why 7:30? What is that?
I think it's an NBA TV game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
7:30. What are we doing?
I don't know. But when it's over, youtube.com/Sactown Sports.
All guests, by the way, come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. So, curse over. We broke it. We made it happen. All I had to do was carry everything into the building.
How was that, by the way?
It was all right.
Is it cumbersome at all?
It was all right. We made it.
Good.
Kelly somehow folded.
You killed my noise stick.
Kelly somehow folded the bowling shirt into her purse. She's like a little 8x10
Yeah,
purse.
they're tiny now.
And
They have to make them tiny.
She folded it and got the shirt in the purse.
Women,
so that helped.
Women, they can.
Well,
fold,
Kelly
man.
worked in retail.
Ah.
So like when we go on a trip, she could fit Oprah's wardrobe in like a single suitcase.
I love that.
She rolls them all up. I don't know what she's got to a science.
You just reminded me of something.
What's that?
Because me and the girlfriend just moved in together.
Yes.
A difference.
Actually hung out with you two guys Saturday for a couple hours.
Night.
Hey, look at that.
Did. A different, this doesn't bother either of us. We just noticed like we do things differently. Do you fold underwear?
Yes.
You do?
Well, I roll it.
I don't fold it at all.
Roll it.
I just toss it in the drawer.
Roll it.
Why?
I'm just going to keep saying roll.
Are you worried about your underwear being wrinkled?
Roll. No, just because it saves space.
Oh,
I got like 20 pairs of underwear. So like I like to roll them and then you put them in
your
one half of the top
drawer.
drawer.
Is that packed tight that you need to fold it?
Yeah, I'll take a
it?
picture of it tonight. I'll send it to you.
I just toss them in.
You
there.
seem very interested in this.
Sheets. Do you fold sheets that go on the bed?
Sheets are folded.
No, I don't fold those.
Everything's
either.
folded in the house. You see something, you fold it.
I mean, now they're folded.
Fold everything.
Now they're folded, yeah.
But not when you were living by yourself.
No.
That's our motto. If I was living by myself, it'd be thrown all over the place if I was.
Kyle, Simone, you fold underwear?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, so here's the thing. When I had drawer space, I would fold my underwear just to save, but now the way my apartment is set up, I have like a desk basically, like shelves for all my clothes, so I don't need to fold it anymore. I just toss
it up there.
No, it's got to be nice. Got to be neat.
Megadeth says, I would have given anything to be sitting next to Nick the first part of that game.
Hey, you could have seen what I was really texting him.
Could ask Pat how it was.
Nick cleaned it up. He said I told him to get out.
Yeah, he did clean it up. He did not clean it up. I cleaned it up. All right, the Niners won't have it easy next weekend. And Ramie has a rant next.
Yeah, dude.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Plenty of sunshine today, and that gusty north wind will continue to diminish this afternoon. Highs will be in the upper 50s. Chilly night ahead, overnight lows in the 30s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's cold and rainy outside, everyone knows Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a $79 furnace tune-up. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
It's been tough talking to my doctor about constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. I finally laid all my symptoms out there and how they keep coming back. She said I may have irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. We agreed it's time to try something different.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. There could be more to your story with IBS-C. Visit a doctor in person or online. Say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS. Sponsored by Abbey and Ironwood Pharmaceuticals.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
Start the new year right at Maida Chevy with huge dealer discounts and great factory incentives on new Silverado half tons with 2.7-liter engines. See all the savings at MaidaChevy.com. Find new roads.
Ends 13123, ID 107046.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the next generation of speed with the long-awaited Ping G430 line of clubs. With more ball speed, improved sound, and movable weights, the Max Driver is something special. You'll find distance with forgiveness in the fairways, carbon fly wrap in the hybrids, and 7 to 10 yards more in the irons. G430 was worth the wait. Ask about the full line of Ping G430 woods and irons at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting Ping G430 line of drivers. The Max is still the Max, as the 460cc model remains the most forgiving and fits most golfers. The LST with carbon fly wrap technology is best for faster swing speeds, and the SFT straight flight technology features an adjustable back weight. Ping has something for every player. Ask about the full line of Ping G430 woods and irons at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickford. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Snaps it back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
the 49ers are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Cattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Log in for Cattles and Ramie.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
3:32 on this Monday. Time check brought to you by Cosi Medical Clinic. Got a Ramie rant that we got to get to in a couple of minutes. But first, we now know who the Niners are going to play in the NFC Championship game next Sunday. Philadelphia just dominated the New York Football Giants. And we were talking about this game on Friday, Ramie. We said this was going to be a slugfest. It was
Not
a one-way slugfest.
Not so much. Did you go back and watch it? Because as you mentioned, we were out having a couple of beverages on Saturday night.
I did not go back.
Turned around and it was 21-0.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this ain't worth my time.
By the way, quick aside.
Yeah.
Where we were on Saturday.
Yeah.
There was an older guy who was wearing an Eagles hat. Did not look at the game once.
Oh, this goes back to you and Verlad being annoyed
by the guy who was wearing a
Kings hoodie while there was a Kings game going on and he wasn't watching.
Yes.
How are you a fan when the game is on?
This is even worse. This is a playoff.
This is a playoff game.
This is get to the NFC Championship game.
And from Philly, too.
Yeah.
Like, they're sick about their sports.
Not paying attention to the game.
That's not a real fan right there is what that is. So
I was offended.
I didn't go back and watch it. I saw a lot of people saying Daniel Jones all of a sudden is bad again at playing quarterback after the game was over. He was great last week. They were going to give him a contract extension last week. Now he's not so good anymore, apparently.
Here's what happened. Philadelphia ran for almost 270 yards. That's it.
That'll usually do it.
End of story.
That'll
Game,
usually
set,
do
match.
it. Yeah.
Dunzo. Philadelphia, perfect in the red zone. Daniel Jones wasn't great. Jalen Hurts back out there. Here was Nick Sirianni pumping the tires of his quarterback.
To have him out there is like having, I shouldn't even go there, but like he's having like Michael Jordan out there. Like he's your leader. He's your leader. He's your guy. He's your, hopefully that's the biggest respect I can pay to him.
He knew it too.
Take it easy.
Before he says it, he's like, I shouldn't go there.
Oh, here comes the Chicago guy in here to defend the honor of his beloved.
Just saying, take it easy, guy.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
I don't think you have to be from Chicago to say relax a little bit comparing Jalen Hurts to Michael Jordan.
So everybody calm down.
But you're talking to someone who was born after Michael Jordan's retirement.
Then do some research and realize that that's an absurd statement, Kyle. That's all you got to do.
Oh,
That's
the
all-
young kid.
That's all you got to do.
I don't think you have to be born before the retirement to know that he was pretty much the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
Crazy. It's a crazy statement.
Nick
just made right
Sirianni. There he is, ladies and
there. I
gentlemen.
mean, he's doing a hell of a job coaching that team.
The
but-
Daniel Jones thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Because
part?
like now what do you do with him if you're the Giants?
I never thought he was. I mean, look, he's not bad. He's very not the style of game, but he's very Jimmy Garoppolo like. He's he's like an average to slightly above average quarterback. If everything is right around him, you can probably do some things with him at quarterback. But any idea that this guy was a franchise QB was absurd to begin with. That was almost as absurd as what Nick Sirianni just said right there about Jalen Hurts.
All right, so enough of that. Ramie told me this morning that he has a quarterback rant. I have no idea what this rant is about, what has him all fired up. I'm going to learn as all of you learn. What is the quarterback rant?
What is it about Josh Allen, dude? No, for real, that people were so quick to crown this dude as the next big thing, as an elite top 3 quarterback. They're so quick to crown this dude.
You can pump that back a little bit.
And then when they fall flat on their face and he looks pedestrian in the process, and he looked pedestrian this weekend, Nick, 25 of 42, 265 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. And that was probably padded a little bit by some garbage time throws that he made. Nobody talks about Josh Allen. Silence on Josh Allen. I was watching NFL Network. I was watching ESPN, and Dak Prescott is getting killed. Daniel Jones is getting killed. If Aaron Rodgers' season ends, he gets killed. If Tom Brady's season ends, he gets killed. Any franchise quarterback, when they lose and their season is over, they're put under the microscope, often unfairly. Dak Prescott is getting absolutely massacred in the media today.
Well, he was terrible.
Destroyed. Sure. Yeah, he wasn't good. But nobody is throwing any shade Josh Allen's way today. Why were we, and not only in the game, everybody's throwing around, oh, Dak Prescott led the league in interceptions with 15. You know how many Josh Allen had this year? 14. Like, he wasn't that far behind Dak Prescott in terms of the mistakes that he made. And the fumbles and the terrible red zone decision-making that he has. We were so, not we, because I've been beating this drum for a long time. People in the NFL media world were so quick, and really still are. They're going to be right back on the Josh Allen hype train as soon as next season's training camp fires up. So quick to want to make this guy the next big thing. And then when they fall flat on their face, it's just crickets, dude. I don't know what it is about Josh Allen that he's Teflon to everybody that watches and talks about football. The only national media personality I see throwing any shade Josh Allen's way is Nick Wright from Fox Sports. Everybody else is either constantly praising the dude or just ignoring when his team is coming up short of expectations. And I don't understand it, Nick. I don't get it in the least.
I think they fall in love with the alien plays that we see from him, the throws that are just, different than any other quarterback or the vast majority of other quarterbacks in the league can make. And I think they kind of fall in love with him at his best, and they tend to overlook him at his worst. Tony Romo even did it yesterday. By the way, Romo's insufferable. Like, he was really good his first year. Now he's just he just not.
The honeymoon period is over.
It's just it's not great. But Romo was talking about, Josh Allen as a quarterback yesterday, and he's rattling off and waxing poetic about, oh, we could do this, blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah, there's still some turnover problems, but you can get past that when you can make plays like he can make. And it's like I understand he's trying to make a point of guys of that elite talent can come back from a pick because they can, make a play that not everybody else can make, and they can make up for it in essence. But Allen has had issues with turning the football over. And I also think people will look at, the game against Kansas City last year and talk about how, Buffalo was robbed and this and that because of the overtime rule and how great Allen was. And I think that game is always going to be kind of stuck in people's memories of, Allen versus Mahomes and how high of a level that game was. So I think he gets a pass. But I think the Brady thing is, he's been around for a long time. The longer you're around, the more you're going to get criticized. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is a personality thing, and some of the stuff that he says, and he makes it about himself. I think there's different reasons why certain quarterbacks are, criticized while others aren't.
I think a lot of it, Nick, is just the quarterback position. You know what I mean? It draws a lot of attention, for better or for worse. But for some reason, with Josh Allen, it seems to only be for better. Like he doesn't catch the flack that most quarterbacks catch when their team season comes to an end.
Look, like I gave him crap his entire career until last year's run. I thought he was really good during last year's run. I thought he carried that team in many instances. But this year, I would say he was not as good as he was last year. I think and Buffalo regressed. I thought they'd get to the Super Bowl this year. They had a lot of talent on that team, and they regressed. And as I said earlier in the show, if it's not Stephon Diggs, that team sometimes has trouble moving the football.
I think most quarterbacks to receive the hype and to be put in the class that he's been put in, they have to at least get to a Super Bowl. For some reason with him, people really wanted to fast track it, and for some reason don't want to back off of it at all, even as he's giving you good reason to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
All right, coming up, it's time to overreact.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. It'll be a chilly night with lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will have less wind than today, a lot of sunshine and highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Treat yourself to a new car in the new year. Shop Folsom Lake Kia for your favorite Kia model. Low interest rates, low payments, even zero down deals with approved credit. Over 20 years right here in Sacramento. That's Folsom Lake Kia. Welcome, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet Store with a question. How is the game of basketball like the Good Feet Store? And the answer is the very best basketball players do it all. Shoot, defend, rebound, they do it all. And the Good Feet Store does it all too. Good Feet manufactures their own line of arch supports, over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities. Good Feet arch support specialists at every store personally fit every customer for free with no obligation. Lastly, Good Feet sells its arch supports exclusively at over 200 Good Feet stores nationwide. Sore feet, aching back, knee or hip pain, even plantar fasciitis? When nothing else works, come to the Good Feet Store and experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville off Nut Tree Parkway by Sprouts, online at goodfeet.com.
Buying a new Acura is an easy decision, and Acura of Stockton makes buying easy. Come and see us today or shop online. If we don't have it, you can pre-select your favorite Acura and pick it up when it arrives. No contracts or deposits required. It's that easy. Plus, we'll pay top dollar for your trade whether you buy from us or not. Don't settle for less than the quality of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or online at AcuraofStockton.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can find options that fit your budget, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, like when I hold the door for someone. Sure, it may be weird if I don't time it right, and they're a little too far away, and now they're running, and we're both asking ourselves, is it worth it to run instead of just, letting them open their own door?
But still, it's the right thing to do. So get options based on your needs with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back, January 19th at Cal Expo. Buy the latest gear. Learn from hundreds of experts in fishing, hunting, and outdoor recreation. See Toyota's powerful Tundra. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 19th through 22nd at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, continues their $500 primetime football giveaway through the playoffs. That's $500 per game for the late games played Saturday and Sunday night. Still located conveniently downtown in a friendly environment. For the best food, best service, and best actions, it's Capital Casino, open 24/7. And please, as always, remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
And now another no-brainer money-saving tip from Progressive.
That doesn't sound good.
Paper shredder's jammed, but I think I fixed it.
Oh, well, try shredding these $50 bills then.
Seems like it's working.
Better try another $400.
Stop. Instead of using money, use regular paper. And here's a better tip from Progressive on how not to waste money. Don't pay too much for car insurance. Drivers who switch and save could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary.
One brings Macloff magic, while the other, we're still trying to figure that out.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
All right, we'll get to our Monday overreactions in a couple minutes. But first, Ramie and I went out Saturday night.
We did.
And Ramie was bothered by the band. And so the bassist of the band, I was bothered by the band as well. The bassist, not the band, the bassist.
They were all right.
They're all right.
Their playlist was questionable.
Well,
there were a few songs where I was like, what are we doing here?
The music
You know what I mean?
requests did not help.
I need to know.
From a skill level standpoint,
They're
solid
fine.
band.
They're
solid
fine.
band.
Solid band.
Yep.
So the bassist, here's a problem. And both you and I had the same problem.
Yes.
The bassist, so you had guitarist, keyboardist.
They had two guitarists.
Yeah, another
Right?
guitarist and a bassist.
And a drummer, of course.
Yeah, because you have rhythm, you've got, lead.
Sure.
You got the rhythm guitar, you have the lead guitar, you have the
Bassist and the drummer.
and the guy on the keys.
Right. Oh, they did have a keyboardist, too.
The guy on the
Yeah.
keys was pretty good.
He was.
Be careful with those music terms or Ramie's going to tune out.
So the bassist was front and center.
When they were warming up, and I saw the bass, because not only was he front and center, Nick.
Yeah.
This guy was dressed to the nines.
Oh, we'll get to that, though.
Okay.
But the placement of the bassist bothered both of us.
Yes.
Because usually the person who is in the front on stage is the person who sings.
Hence the term frontman.
Frontman.
Yes.
This guy did nothing but sing backup vocals for a couple of songs, but he was out in front like...
Not even all the songs.
Can't do it.
He was singing backup on a few of the songs.
Like, dude, you're not Dave Grohl.
And he was right up front and center.
Bothers me.
And when I saw him warming up...
Like it's not about you.
And I saw the getup. I saw his placement.
So the getup, clearly a big Tom Petty fan.
Yes. He had the hat.
The
He had the
long,
brimmed hat.
the long straight hair.
Yes.
Same color as Tom. God rest.
Suit.
The hat.
Bolo thing.
Like the blazer kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom Petty all the way.
So I was
This
thinking...
Tom Petty ripoff was like, I'm going to stand in front of my band members and sing backup vocals on two of the songs that we play tonight.
When I saw him warming up and tuning up, I was like, oh, this guy's going to... This is the guy.
This is the guy.
in
It's
the
like-
band,
it's
No
right?
offense. I bet he's a Leo, just like you, Nick. Sorry. First day. I'm turning off my mic.
I don't even know what that means. What does that even mean?
So Leo is one of the 12 astrology signs.
I know what a Leo is. Yeah.
Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
My
Appreciate you
God.
for contributing
A
that.
showman. He's just a showman. That's all.
That's what Leos are?
Yeah.
Can confirm. Can
They
confirm.
need attention? Leos need attention?
They love
Is that what you're saying,
attention.
Simone? All right.
Yeah. Cattles and
It
Ramie.
was it bothered
I'll
me.
speak for myself. I can't speak for that guy.
It bothered me. It really bothered me.
Yeah.
I was like, why? What is he even doing there?
And it's not even like he had any like bass solos or whatever. He was a bassist.
No, he wasn't slapping the bass at all at any point in the set.
This wasn't Les Claypool, who's like the lead singer.
That guy should be up front.
Yes. Yeah.
Geddy Lee. Put that dude up front.
Geddy Lee, yes. Yeah. So
that guy?
Tom Petty Light.
Terrible. He doesn't even play the same instrument as Tom Petty, much less sing.
Yeah, Petty Light should have been the back of the stage.
It annoyed me.
Yeah.
Ramie's more enthusiastic about this than the Josh Allen rant. It's crazy.
You know who did not annoy me? Older cat that was out there on the dance floor.
Yeah, that guy was getting it, man.
He was
that guy
shuffling backwards, shuffling to the side.
My man.
Ramie, did Nick dance?
No.
Okay.
Nick doesn't know this, but when he was in line getting a beer, I turned to his lovely wife, Kelly, and I said, all right, Nick isn't here, and you can be honest. I won't tell him. Nick claims he can dance. Can you confirm? Or
I'm just surprised.
And she says he can. And I told her I still don't believe it.
I don't know how many people that actually know me that can tell Ramie until he actually believes it.
And I told her I still don't believe it.
I'm not gonna look. I'm not some kind of like circus monkey here. I'm not gonna go dance for your approval. Dance, boy, dance. What is this? Saturday night, Nick. How about you go out there and dance for me? What?
I mean, there were people on the dance floor.
There were.
You could.
They were doing fine.
Seemed like the occasion.
Could have shown us some moves. I showed a couple moves.
It seemed like a great occasion to sit there and enjoy my beverage.
I showed off a couple moves.
Ramie did show off a couple. Ramie went out there.
Just saying.
I mean, it took Emily to like drag him by the arm,
Just
but
saying.
he went out there.
By the way, Emily was concerned. She was like, "You think they were mad we went home too early? We didn't go home too early, right? Were you guys mad that we went home?"
Oh.
What time?
I'll save that for another conversation.
I was hungry. I didn't want what they had there. And so I went home.
I think somebody offered to go to a different place to eat, and you were like, no, I'm just going to go home.
Yeah.
This is what I've realized about Ramie Makloff. You got about a 2-hour limit when you go out. You get the 2-hour itch. When you came to my house.
She was right.
Yeah, she was right.
Ramie, you would love soccer, let me tell you.
I thought we were having a great time, and Ramie's like, I'm going to go. I'm like, okay.
I had a fine time. I had a good time.
You get the 2-hour itch. When you went to my house about 2 hours in, you were like, I got to go.
Yeah.
When you when you went out with Chris and JJ and me,
yeah,
it was about 2 hours-ish. And you're like, I got to go.
I got about 2 hours.
On Saturday, you're like,
max.
got to go.
3 max. If there's
See, but it would not be a big deal if you didn't tell me that, like, when you go back home, you hang out with all your boys for, like, all day.
Well, those are my,
Save that audio. We need this for future reference.
That's basically, you're talking about my boys since high school.
Simone, is 2 hours enough when you ask somebody to like hang out with you on a Saturday night?
No?
Yeah. No.
Wow.
It's not even a movie.
All right.
Not even a movie.
I had 2 beers. I was ready to call it a night. Have some food and chill.
It's okay.
I think I'm with Ramie on this one. If you're ready to go, it's okay.
I don't care about what you
Oh no.
You know what? That's fair.
Explaining to me what a Leo is.
You got
See,
him.
it's this thing called astrology.
You got it.
Thanks, Kyle.
There's also moon placements. You want to know about that?
Not at all.
Well, I had fun.
For 2 full hours, you did.
Yes, I did.
Kelly and I kept the party going, if you're wondering.
Good.
We went to another place.
Glad.
Watched the Kings game.
I'm glad you had
could
fun.
have been you could have been with us.
I went home and got some fries with fried chicken.
So you can tell Emily she was right.
Delicious. All right, I'll pass it along.
You got an overreaction on this Monday? Just give me one.
Joe Burrow's the greatest quarterback ever played.
I have one.
What's that?
I have to change my Twitter. No more Smunk until Monk gets his stuff together.
Wow. That is an overreaction.
We I don't know. We're gonna talk about Monk later on.
Okay.
Maybe people are starting to jump on the bandwagon here a little bit.
I'm just saying, I want his swagger back.
I've been warning people. I've been saying this for a week or two.
You have.
We'll get to that though.
Yes, we will.
Chad Henne is going to take the Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
No, he's not.
Mahomes not going to play this weekend.
Yeah.
Chad Henne's going to throw 3 touchdowns.
Do you think Chad Henne is going to beat Joe Burrow?
Wow.
The great Josh Allen couldn't even beat Joe.
We're going to have
reaction.
Chad Henne versus Brock Purdy in the Super Bowl.
Josh Allen, who's on the Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, couldn't beat Joe Burrow. You think Chad Henne's going to do it?
Let me try this one on. How about this?
Okay.
Dak Prescott will not be the Cowboys quarterback by 2024. I'll give him this next year.
Okay.
That actually lines up with when they have an out in his contract.
Right.
So
I can see that.
Dak's gone. Mike McCarthy's gone.
I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah, last year might be the last run for those dudes.
I'm with you.
All right.
I don't think that's an overreaction at all.
Well, there you have it. A huge win for the Niners yesterday. So why am I irritated? Find out next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
For your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
ATM Mortgage.
Hi, this is Jeff Tarbell with a very unique program for homeowners over 55 years old. How would you like to cut your house payment in half and maybe get some cash out too? Give ATM Mortgage a call. 916-338-9400, 338-9400, or online at atmmortgage.net.
ATM Mortgage.
License under California CFL and MLS 223-4889.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. If you're a small business owner, listen up. Pi Insurance wants to give you one of those aha moments, the kind that could save you money. Workers' comp is probably one of the biggest costs you face. But did you know that insurance providers have flexibility in setting their prices? That's right. But many don't bother giving small businesses the savings you deserve. Instead, you can get lumped in with other businesses and overcharged. Pi Insurance was created to change that. With Pi, you get a quote tailored specifically to your business, and you could save up to 30% with no hassle and no hidden fees. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. Take 3 minutes to see how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or go to trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm always on the lookout for a great cheeseburger at the turn, and the best I've found is served at San Francisco's famed Olympic Club. Hot Dog Bill's makes theirs from Bill Parrish's original 1950 family recipe, and their tasty treats are served on a hot dog bun. Before they were invited to set up shop on the course, Bill and his wife Billy served their burgers from a trailer on the other side of Lake Merced. During the golf round, Olympic Club members would send their caddies over to pick up the mouth-watering delights. Parrish's daughter Candy now runs the original Hot Dog Bill's in 2 locations, on the driving range and on the course. That's a great excuse for 2 burgers in one day. Candy says the signature hot dog bun for the burgers and dogs was initially a cost savings measure for Bill. If you're bummed not wrapping your mouth around a Bill's burger because Olympic is a private club, you're in luck because Candy's brother serves up the same taste treats at Napa's Silverado Resort. Trust me on this one. Have it with everything. You won't even care if it comes with double bogeys. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickburn. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Steps it back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
the 49ers are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Hattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Log in for Cattles and Ramie.
From the headlines to the sidelines, it's the Kings, the 49ers, the Raiders, the Republic.
Vocal on the local.
What is this? Hour 3? I'm going to do the math. Hour 3.
Third hour.
Oof.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4, baby. 3 out of 4. Cattles and Ramie, Sactown Sports on this Monday. Happy Monday to each and every one of you. Thanks for joining us as always. It is very much appreciated. Brock Purdy is a Cinderella story, Ramie.
Yes, he is.
I want the movie.
There's no denying that.
I want the movie. I need the movie.
Who plays Brock Purdy?
Matt Damon. And I would love to witness all of this play out. Want the Super Bowl championship, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant to Super Bowl champion. All of it is great.
When he took the job, we said if they win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy,
yes,
it's maybe the greatest quarterback story of our lifetime.
It'll go down as one of the best.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Him and Nick Foles.
One of the best all time. I don't think we can forget that the GOAT was picked in the 6th round, but I do think, it'll go down as one of the best.
You're talking about.
One of the best stories of all time for a quarterback.
Patrick Mahomes was picked number 10.
He was. And let's see if he gets to 6. 7. So it's a tremendous story. He has not thrown up on himself. He has taken care of the football. He's done everything that you need him to do to continue to win games, especially in the playoffs. He has been a revelation for many people. He's done everything. He's done everything that you need him to do. And he's made, a handful of very good plays in the past 2-3 weeks that has helped them get to the NFC Championship game.
I feel like there's a butt coming.
Well, this is not going to be a butt towards Brock Purdy. It's going to be my irritation towards the media. And this is what I was worried about, Ramie. I was worried about, the media. They can't have just a great story for what it is. They've got to continue to build it and build it and build it and build it and shove it down your throat every 5 seconds. I mentioned about, the CBS shots during the Bills game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Bills-Bengals game yesterday. Like, DeMar Hamlin's in the suite. Great story. Awesome. There's DeMar Hamlin. Okay, awesome. You can't really see him because of the snow. But let's keep going to the shot over and over and over again because we want to talk about DeMar Hamlin throughout the game. Again, great story, but I don't need the shot of him in the suite 17 times during the game.
If that was DeMar Hamlin.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
So what is starting to irritate me, and it's not because Brock Purdy doesn't deserve credit. He does. I'm actually irritated because I feel like it's taking away from what else is happening with this football team. To me, like, the more we talk about Brock Purdy and the more that the national media makes him the story, I just feel like the defense is almost getting slighted. Like yesterday after the game, I was legitimately bugged that Aaron Andrews is interviewing Brock Purdy after that game. Like, he's not the story of that game. He's a great story. He's a fantastic story. Make the movie. The story of that game was that defense. The story of that game was Fred Warner. The story of that game was DeMeco Ryans. Like, I understand it's the low-hanging fruit that the national media love to pull. But let's put some respect on the other dudes' names. Like, they won that game yesterday not because of Brock Purdy, They won it because their defense balled out.
He's the bassist. he's the
bassist in the band on Saturday night
that we saw Saturday night, who was front and center for probably no good reason.
So here was Aaron Andrews with Brock after the game.
Man, we're just excited that we won. Everyone did their part. It's playoff football. It's never easy, but we're moving on.
What does it mean to you to show up in Philly next week and have a chance at the NFC Championship?
Yeah, that's what NFL football's all about. To go in a hostile environment like that, we're excited. We're ready for it.
And Javier says, why wait for the movie when you can enjoy the real-time experience? Again, this is a nuanced conversation somewhat. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I've been saying it. Embrace this. Enjoy it. Love it. The Niners are one game away from getting to the Super Bowl. It's a fantastic story. What I don't need is the national media to just pummel me with it over the head when there are other really good stories about this football team.
Doesn't this? I mean, it's the story for sure, Nick. You know what? Of the last pick in the draft.
It's the high school quarterback. It's the women want him, the men want to be him. The high school quarterback, the college quarterback. It's the person they always talk about. To me, it's just lazy.
But I was going to say, doesn't this ultimately go back to what I was talking about last hour in my rant about Josh Allen and how quarterbacks not named Josh Allen are treated? And we love, and when I say we, I'm just talking about the media in general, even though you and I don't necessarily go along with every narrative that's out there. So I'm using the generic we. We in the media love to put quarterbacks on these big, tall pedestals and throw in the fact that he's Mr. Irrelevant and he's a rookie and the third string quarterback and the great story that it is. That's what the NFL is, man. That's what NFL media does. We lift quarterbacks way up when things are good, and we bury them 6 feet under when things are bad.
It's just, it's unfair to Purdy. And look, maybe I might be in the minority. Maybe people aren't irritated by this. I get irritated by watching a game and saying, okay, Brock Purdy played well, but is he the guy that we should be underlining and talking about? Like, we understand, like, he's doing his job. He managed the game well. He didn't turn the football over. Great. But how about giving some love to the other guys? Like, how about giving some post-game interview time to like I said, Fred Warner? How about Diamador Lenore, who comes up with the pick? How about talking to that guy after the game? Hey, you had a huge pick in the game, man, that kind of swung the momentum. How about interviewing people that made impact plays in that game? Like Brock Purdy, and look, I'll give credit to Purdy. You mentioned this earlier in the show. Not only on the field has he been tremendously poised and looked the part, but with the media, he's been great. And that's not always easy. Like, this dude was thrown into a very difficult situation. He's played as good as he can play. He's got them one win away from the Super Bowl. And Aaron Andrews is shoving a microphone in his face on Fox nationally where everybody's watching. And he right away is talking about we and talking about the team and talking about the defense. Like, that dude gets it.
For sure.
Brock Purdy gets it. I just wish that, like, let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about Kyle Shanahan, who's done a very good job. Does he mess up? Yes. Is he free of criticism? No. Should people just say, oh, Kyle has it all figured out? Absolutely not. The end of the first half yesterday was a joke. But big picture, Shanahan's taken this third string quarterback and is one game away from the Super Bowl. If Shanahan doesn't want to talk, how about giving D'Amico Ryan some shine? This dude's defense has been awesome all year long.
I don't know, but I mean, I don't think Shanahan is looking for spotlight. D'Amico Ryans, he gets plenty of run, and especially now that the coaching carousel has started to turn. I see his name popping up a lot on my Twitter timeline and various websites I go to get my football information. As far as the players go, I get the sense, Nick, that not only are they okay with the way that the whole Brock Purdy thing is being talked about, I think they actually I think they like it from the standpoint that they seem to get a kick out of it. And especially George Kittle.
Right.
Like, you put a microphone in front of George Kittle and he wants to talk to you about Brock Purdy.
Kittle just wants to cut a WWE promo every day of his life.
Yes.
He gets up in the morning waiting to just do that.
When it comes to the guys on defense, starting with Nick Bosa, I don't get the sense that they're really out here looking for attention or praise or all the credit. They know what they're doing. They
I would agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, look, it's And this goes to
it's not the Seahawks.
This is just
they were
something
annoyed with Russell Wilson and all the love and attention that he got. This ain't that.
Well, and I think that goes to what I just said about Brock. I think it's because Brock has handled this well. I'm not so sold. I have some reasons why I'm not so sold, and then there's just the by what we've heard from those people that were in Seattle at the time. I don't think Russell necessarily handled that situation as well as he could have. Brock has been nails. Brock's been nails on and off the field. Again, you can't ask more of this dude. And that's why I'm all about it. I want this to happen. I want to see this dude get it done. I love the family reaction in the crowd when he makes it. It is a great story. I guess it's just my issue with national media, and it's been my issue for a long time of just anointing people immediately. I just don't feel as a sports fan that we have time to breathe. It's like, as soon as something happens, this is the greatest thing of all time. This is the greatest player of all time. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Like Bronny James. If I mentioned Bronny James, people would be like, oh, LeBron's son, top player in high school. I don't know what he is now, but I know a few months ago he was like the 40th ranked player in his high school class.
Yeah.
And people are talking about him like he is the best high school player ever because his name is Bronny James. It's the national media that just wants to pound certain points into the ground. It's the reason why you lost your mind about the Lakers a few weeks ago. It's why Chuck, talks about it on TNT. And he's always saying, why are we talking about the Lakers? That's terrible. Yeah, they can't get out of their own way. It's the narratives that are just spun. And let's not get too far ahead. Let's embrace and enjoy the moment and say this dude is balling out as well as he can in this situation, which is incredibly difficult. He deserves all the credit in the world. But there are people mentioning Montana and Brady and take a breath.
He's won more games to start his career than any of those guys.
If he gets there, awesome. If he gets there, incredible.
I say start carving the bronze bust right now. Fit that man for a gold jacket. Put the statue in front of the state outside Levi's Stadium.
Let's not get it twisted. I started the show talking about the defense.
Why do you hate him?
We started talking about the defense.
Purdy?
We started talking about
bottom of this.
We started talking about Brock Purdy on the field. And my point today is we should appreciate this team.
But you hate Brock Purdy.
No. I do not.
Ramie asking the hard questions over here.
I do not hate Brock Purdy. I think we need to give love to this football team instead of making it sound like Mr. Irrelevant is the reason why they're making this march. There are a lot of reasons why. Run CMC is a gigantic reason why. The defense, D'Amico Ryans, Shanahan. And I just feel like as this has gone on, it's getting worse and worse where it's Purdy this, Purdy that, Purdy. It's great story, but this team is a great story. This team is lifting up the quarterback. It's not the quarterback lifting up the team. He's doing well.
Right.
But the team is lifting up his play. If you put him on any other playoff team, I don't think we're talking about Brock Purdy in a championship game. So give love to the guys that deserve it as well. And I give credit to Purdy because he has done that. This is not a Brock Purdy thing. It's more the media.
Not a play thing.
It's more the media. It's Tony Romo. It's just the nonstop stuff. You put it on ESPN today. I guarantee you they're talking about Purdy this and Purdy that.
Who does play him in the movie though?
Matt Damon. I gave you my answer.
I'm bringing up the fact that he looks exactly like 1982 Michael J. Fox. So
there's that. I don't think that's going to work though.
I want Timothy Chalamet.
Too pretty.
Just it would be a nice top.
We're talking about Timothy Chalamet to play every role.
Stunned everyone.
Hold on. Is Timothy Chalamet the guy that is on that?
Kid.
Is he on the that new commercial of Apple Plus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kelly and I were watching that yesterday,
and
we both looked at each other and said, "Are we supposed to know who that is?"
Just to put on a little weight and be all right.
I had no idea.
He is the heart of, not to mansplain this again, but he's the heartthrob of 16 to 17-year-olds on TikTok right now.
I'm very happy I don't know who he is now.
Kevin Connolly, who played Eric on Entourage?
I do.
TV show. He looks like Brock Purdy.
Ooh, yeah.
But he's 48 years old and only 5'5".
They don't look 48. And there's nothing wrong with being short. You're not a tall guy.
But 5'5".
By the way, I heard that Dave was saying I was 5'2".
No, David.
Which I responded to, Carmichael Davis, 300 pounds. If I'm 5'2", Dave's 3 bills.
Wow. I'll stay out of that one.
413 on a Monday. Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. I've been warning people. Are people starting to finally agree with me? The Kings Malik Monk issue. In 90 seconds.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Sacramento area attorneys. 500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
I'm upset with you.
With me?
Yeah.
What'd I do?
Because you didn't want to back me with the Dave thing. You ran.
Oh.
You ran out like you ran out Saturday night after 2 hours.
Why would I get
your girlfriend wanted to stay hanging out, and you were like, let's go. You ran right out.
Yeah, I did. Instead of, hey, thanks for coming out. That was fun. Why don't you hang out longer?
We're having a good time. Why would you stop a good time?
Anyway,
let's get back to the Dave thing.
Because it was enough.
Just to have my back. So this is the peek into Ramie's brain before we get to the Kings and Malik Monk. So 3 people out of the 4 on Saturday night were hanging out, thinking we should continue to hang out.
Yes.
Ramie wanted to go home, so therefore, he was right.
I did get a lot of pushback from my girlfriend when I brought up the idea of going home. She just asked later. She said, "Do you think Nick and Kelly were upset that we didn't hang out?"
We weren't upset.
Okay.
Upset would be a little dramatic.
Annoyed?
Disappointed?
Disappointed?
Yeah, disappointed. Okay. I would say disappointed in you is fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's worse.
Somehow I'm okay with it though. Somehow his disappointment doesn't affect me. It's weird.
So now if Kelly and I go hang out at your place.
Yes. By the way, she said we should invite Nick and Kelly.
Which is another thing. Yes. I drove 45 minutes to go hang out with you on Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
After I drive an hour and a half every day to work.
Hold on. You said we are going to this place if anybody would like to join us. So you wouldn't go out there to hang out with me. You went out there.
I don't know if I would have gone if it wasn't for you and Emily.
All right.
I sent the text out there. Verlad was like, I'm in Auburn. AJ didn't even respond.
Where's Auburn? Georgia?
North.
No,
it's north. That was nice, though.
Auburn's also in Alabama.
Oh.
He's not a college football guy.
No, I'm not. Or a geography guy.
So here's my question, though, before we get to the case.
Yes.
So if I now go to your place.
Yes.
Or if you ask us out, you actually invite us out. I'm glad that Emily said that you should probably actually invite us instead of open invite, which is just, I'm never going to invite you. And then if you ask me why I don't invite you,
like an open invite is the nicest thing you can do.
No, because again, I'm not going to just roll over to your house at Tuesday night. So now if I stay longer than 2 hours,
yes,
I feel like I'm overstaying. My welcome.
Yes.
Because you have clearly stated that 2 hours is your window.
No, you can stay as long as you
if I hang out with you and it's like 2.5 hours, I'm like, honey, we got to go. Cal, we got to go.
Here was when she said we should invite, and I said, yeah, we should. But I don't have my apartment is not big. Like it's kind of a small place. Not a lot of places for people to be seated when you're entertaining,
A lot of places around you, though.
So I said, let's wait until the weather is nice enough that we can hang out on the rooftop, go down by the pool.
You know how I read that?
How's that?
Let's wait as long as we can before I actually invite them.
No,
The rooftop is nice, I will say.
Yeah, he stayed at my place a couple times watching the dog. Kyle's my dog sitter when I'm out of town. A little peek behind the curtain.
I hired this man. Gave him a job.
If you want a dog sit,
I furthered his career.
If you want a dog sit, you can have access to
Kyle
the rooftop.
Ledbetter's on the rooftop with his feet up and a cigar in his mouth watching Oz.
Go watch Oz. You can have the pool, the gym, the rooftop, the whole nine.
I will also,
What a nice place.
I'm also going to push back on the.
Look at me, Louie.
Humble brag.
Also going to push back on not having a lot of space. It's enough to host 4 people.
Is it?
You can host 4 people in your living room space.
All I have is a couch.
It's a nice couch.
It's a nice couch.
But
It's
I'm
just a
also
couch.
I'm also a 21-year-old, so my
Nick-
standards are different.
Nick didn't want me to sit next to him for a good shot for the show, so that we could have a good camera shot for the show.
No.
He's gonna come and sit next to my couch
That's
on me
not
for 4 hours.
that's not the reason. I don't want to look this way. Like it's like I'm looking like away from the camera. It's weird. I like looking directly at you.
Fair.
I like peering into your eyes, Ramie, when we do radio.
Okay.
All right, let's get back. Let's get to the Kings. All guests come to you, by the way, from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Okay, so I have been talking about Malik Monk for a couple of weeks, and I have been warning people that Monk has completely fallen off a cliff, and he had like a good week going back several weeks ago, and I think people, including me, were like, "Thank God he got through it. It was a bad streak." No. He has fallen right back into the abyss.
Yeah.
And this is not good on many levels. On Saturday, he scored 9 points. He shot 3 of 10. I was surprised when we had Frankie on the show Friday when I asked him about Monk and is he concerned? And Frankie was like, nah, shoot or shoot, and he'll shoot out of it. We're going on, 2 months. 2 months where Monk is shooting under 30% from 3. He's shooting about 28% the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a bad streak. This is not a small sample size. This is 2 months of terrible shooting from distance from the dude coming off of your bench that you rely on shoot from distance. You need Malik Monk. You want Malik Monk. And so when you look at this, Ramie, the effect that it's having, Malik was the only guy off the bench on Saturday night that played more than 12 minutes. And what that's doing is it's taxing the starters. You are asking so much from this. Remember we had the conversation about Domas early in the year? Like, this guy can't keep playing 39, 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
It's getting to be the whole team. This is becoming a problem. Now, whether it's Coach Brown not trusting his guys enough.
Look at Saturday, 38, 38, 41, 38, 31. That's their starting rotate. That's the minutes for their starting lineup on Saturday.
When you are not going to your bench, and we talked about it like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago about, hey, man, it's time to set a rotation. Trey Lyles again, in and out Saturday night. Is he your guy or not? You've got to pick 8 or 9 guys and roll with it, Coach. Like, Coach Brown has done a terrific job, okay? But at a certain point, you cannot keep asking your starters to score 95% of the points and play 37 to 40 minutes a night.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to be like, we can't do it. We can't do it. HB has played a ton of minutes the last month and a half or so. He's playing tons of minutes.
Can't do it.
And at a point where you just got to say, like, how much can you keep asking of these guys? And they have played great. They're awesome story. Fox has had a great year. Domas, we've talked about it, MVP conversation. Both guys deserve to be all-stars. HB has been incredible since his slow start for the first week or two. But I don't want to see these guys run out of gas, man. At some point, you got to trust somebody more than Monk. The only dude that you trust is Monk, and he's been awful. He's been awful.
So when you talk about shortening the bench and like establishing rotations, are you suggesting that Monk maybe not be part of those rotations?
No, Monk has to be.
But I was just gonna say, Nick, because I've been not pushing back, but just like a little more patient with Malik Monk than you have been when you've brought this up the last couple weeks. Keep going. I'm not too worried. I think he'll be fine. I'm starting to get worried now, and the question just popped into my head. It's funny Kyle asks you that. This just popped into my head right now when you're talking about Mike Brown and not settling on a rotation. Other guys off the bench have had short leashes, man, especially at the center position. Yeah. Akpala was in and out of there. Rashawn Holmes was in and out of there. Trey Lyles was in and out of there.
Terrence Davis.
We saw Davion Mitchell's minutes cut.
Davis was a hero for 2 weeks. Yep. He can't get run in a blowout.
At what point can Mike Brown even afford to, when you start looking at what's going on with the bench, look at Malik Monk and go, maybe we reduce his role a little bit. You know what I mean?
I don't think you can. You've got to hope that he shoots himself out of it. Honestly, like, because you just don't. Davion Mitchell is giving you nothing offensively.
I'm just going to throw
nothing. Great defensively. He's giving you 0.0 offensively.
I'm just going to throw something at the wall. You tell me. This is not me saying they should do this. This is just me throwing something at the wall. You tell me if this is crazy, because they have no scoring from their second unit right now. Put Kevin Huerter on the bench for Malik Monk. Reduce how much you're asking of Monk. Maybe make him ask. And I'm not saying permanently, because he's still been a playmaker and a creator for other guys when he hasn't been able to find his own shot. Ask him to do a little bit more of that till he gets his swagger back, and then go back to the way things are. That gives you a little scoring off the bench and maybe take some of the pressure off Malik Monk to be a scorer.
I wonder if there'd be some concern about the Fox Monk show.
The chemistry. Yep.
Like those two guys have great chemistry, but I wonder if it'd be too much of them two.
They get too wrapped up in that.
Would it ice Keegan out of the offense? Because we've seen his shooting rate.
And would you be going away from Domas?
Yeah.
Because Fox and Monk have the two-man game, and they're, Kentucky days, they're feeling it, and then Domas doesn't touch the ball for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The other thing I would say about Keegan, since you brought him up, Kyle, is when you look at all the minutes, man, the rookie wall is real. And when you get to game 55, 60, is Keegan's legs going to be shot? Because he's playing 35 minutes. Because you ain't got no backup wing that can do much, that you trust. HB and Keegan are putting up a lot of minutes. The whole starting five is. At some point, something's got to change. Monty's going to go out there and make an addition or two, or Coach Brown has to stick with these guys even if they're not playing great. He's got to stick with it and say, bigger picture. I can't let my guys be playing 40 minutes a night. Just can't do it. Coming up, the Cowboys are done.
Can't do it.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. It'll be a chilly night with lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will have less wind than today, a lot of sunshine and highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Make your New Year's resolutions yet? Let me help. Trade out of that old car and into something safe and reliable, like a new Folsom Lake Kia with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
I remember as if it were yesterday. I reached down to move a nightstand and was astonished at the weight of the piece. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. At that moment, I instantly recognized the difference between Naturewood's quality furniture that will last a lifetime versus lesser quality furniture found elsewhere. Now, I suppose there's a huge difference in what you'd put in your first apartment and what you would live with in the comfort of your own home. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings Made in USA sale is a great time to fill your home with solid, superior quality furniture to reflect your own love for life. With brands like Sam Moore, Stanton, Stickley, Hilltop Hickory, Simply Amish, and many more, Naturewood Home Furnishings has tables, chairs, couches, and, yes, nightstands, and more at their Made in USA sale. Find furniture that will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Thinking about gas mileage? If your check engine light is on, it may be affecting your MPGs, but the free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help. With the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes, you'll know what's affecting your gas mileage and more, and you don't have to drive too far to find the fix. The free AutoZone Fix Finder service is available at all 6,200 stores.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can find options that fit your budget, because giving you options is the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, like when I hold the door for someone. Sure, it may be weird if I don't time it right, and they're a little too far away, and now they're running. And we're both asking ourselves, is it worth it to run instead of just, letting them open their own door?
But still, it's the right thing to do. So get options based on your needs with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
The Black Crowes, live. A night of all their iconic songs. Saturday, May 6th, a special set from the Crowes at the all-new and all-incredible The Venue at Thunder Valley. Tickets on sale now at ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss the Black Crowes at The Venue at Thunder Valley.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, And new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taken off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, and the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Sactown Sports
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickford. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Steps it back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
the 49ers are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Cattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Log in for Cattles and Ramie.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
So Deuce and Mo's first show was today.
Yes, sir.
And I was watching the beginning of the show, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., Sactown Sports, Monday through Friday, Deuce and Mo.
Did you watch the end of the show?
I was
really handsome guy in the studio.
Deuce, yeah, good looking dude. So I was watching the beginning of the show, and Deuce was so excited that he did the entire segment standing. And I was wondering, like, is that what I should do? Because people get on me for being short all the time.
I don't get that.
He was just doing the whole thing standing.
Yeah.
Pat McAfee does that. I mean, it's not that weird.
He was very excited.
Do you ever want to be standing when you could be sitting?
I will tell you, I've been having trouble to sleep at night because I'm all tight in the hips and the lower back. This is a problem I had. Listen, back surgery when I was like 22.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah.
And I sit a lot during the day because I work at home and I'm in the living room and you know what I mean? And I come in here and I'm sitting all the time. So I was wondering, like, should I do some of the show standing? Does this make you feel uncomfortable, me standing right now?
No.
Does it make the YouTube people feel uncomfortable?
You're in a power stance. I'll say that much.
Power stance?
Yeah, you got your palm. Yeah, exactly. That's what that is.
You can't just stand.
That's what that is.
You can't just stand up. Does it have to be that posture?
No, because the microphone, I don't think the microphone, like, it's not going to reach up to my grill if I stand
I think the best way I'd describe it is principal's office vibes right now.
Yes. Yeah, it's the A-frame. Yeah.
Javier says he feels threatened.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little too forward. Am I a little too forward?
But I think you have to get the mic.
Like coming after you?
That's
Shannon
the posture.
Sharpe.
That's the posture the teacher takes on your desk when they caught you passing a note. You know what I mean? That's the posture you take. Does your back feel better when you stand?
Well, I need to loosen it up, you know?
Like, you know what would have loosened it up?
What?
If you hit the dance floor on Saturday night instead of being indoors.
That might have locked it up. I would have been on the ground.
For those of you born after 1995, you used to pass notes in classrooms.
Nice.
Now you just text on your phone.
Now?
Yeah,
you're allowed to text while you're in class.
I mean,
I don't
no,
think
but
they
you're not
collect
allowed.
it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really easy to not do that.
No wonder your generation is the way it is.
Hey, I pass notes. I'm still on the other
There you
side
go.
of the fence.
There you go.
All right, so some of the reaction about
you
the
standing?
about the Kings, about the Kings bench issue with Malik Monk. Bradley Schmidt says been worried about it for weeks, talking about Monk being a primary ball handler, and that's one of the issues that we've discussed, and we're going to get to the Cowboys being dumb in a minute. But one of the issues we've talked about is Monk being the primary ball handler, and what that does to Davion. And as I put in the chat, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Don't forget to like us. The more likes means the more eyeballs. We build the community. That's how this works. So just 1 second to give us the thumbs up means an awful lot to all of us. But, when you've got Monk as the primary ball handler, because I think they want him to be the creator, that takes the ball out of Davion's hands. And that makes Davion a glorified spot-up shooter for a lot of minutes. Not his strength. And I know we talked about at the end of last year about how he was going to work on the shot. And he understood that he was going to have to be a spot-up shooter more with Fox and Monk having the basketball a lot in their hands. I don't know if Davion anticipated being off the ball as much when Fox is not in the game.
Do you think there's more to squeeze out of Davion offensively?
I think
than what they're getting in the role he's currently in.
I think Davion is better offensively when he has the basketball in his hands, when he can create a little bit, when he can get to the basket a little bit.
Yeah.
Hovering around the 3-point line is not really his go-to. And so, when Fox was out last year, he gave this team more offensively, much more. He didn't shoot great, but he still gave them more offensively. Right now, I don't think it's a stretch to say Davion's pretty much been an offensive zero for this team.
Yeah. No, he's,
like
he's a defensive specialist.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 games he's popped up. He hit the 3 threes in a row a few games ago. That was nice to see. He had the game in Charlotte when Fox went out.
Yep.
When they were down big at halftime, and he scored 20 plus that night. Other than that, when I can sit there and tell you the good games he's had, and we're like 50 games deep.
Tells you how few.
There's like 3 of them.
Yeah.
That means it's not enough. And so it's very difficult because you want to utilize Monk because he's supposed to be that offense off the bench, and he is a good playmaker for the most part. But when you do that, you go away from what Davion does well offensively. So, you're kind of butting your nose to spite your face with how you're handling the bench. So it'll be interesting to see. All right, let's get
bring it.
Get to the Cowboys. Boy, they're a dumb football team. And I'm not saying personally, I'm not saying they're dumb people. I'm saying football IQ.
You're calling Mike McCarthy dumb.
Mike McCarthy has
that's fair, though.
An incredibly low IQ when it comes to football.
He looks like he's driving a tractor onto the field.
Dak's picks, both interceptions awful. Just can't make those mistakes. Cannot make those mistakes, especially in those kinds of games. Mike McCarthy, 3rd and 5. Okay, you're on the San Francisco 40. 3rd and 5. You take a deep shot downfield, incomplete. 4th and 5, you take a delay game and you punt from the San Francisco 45-yard line. That's awful coaching.
That was a mess.
Awful coaching. Absolutely awful coaching.
Yeah. And that's stuff that
if you're at the 40, man, you got to say, okay, this kind of game, we're going on 3rd down and 4th down.
Or don't take that deep shot on third down. Just call a safer play to get you those 5 yards.
Or get you closer. So if you're looking at like a 4th and 1 or a 4th, you could even run the football on third down if you're going to go on fourth down.
If you're saying we're in 4-down territory.
Taking a shot and then punting after a delay game, like getting the delay of game pretty much intentionally that sends you 5 yards back. I would have gone for it on 4th and 5.
And then what was that?
Like, what's the difference between?
What was that call in the last play of the game? Was Zeke lined up at
Holy
center?
crap.
Oh my God.
No offensive line. Like what?
Poor Zeke, man.
And you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy about that?
What's that?
They showed it. The 49ers are like,
they call a timeout.
They're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Timeout. We didn't see this on tape. They make the adjustments they need to make, and Mike McCarthy still thinks that garbage is going to work.
And for people saying, "Oh, Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator," look, head coach has the final call,
veto
folks.
power,
Okay,
dude.
Mike McCarthy says, "All right, this is the last play we're going to run," and then the timeout is called. You go back out there with that formation. It's then up to McCarthy saying we might want to get rid of that idea.
And I don't know what the fascination is with Kellen Moore.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen
as an offensive coordinator. I mean, Jerry Jones told Mike McCarthy, you're taking Kellen Moore as your offensive coordinator when you get this job. I don't know what it is with Kellen Moore in Dallas. I know who he has pictures of. Their offense, year in and year out, should be better than it looks. And then you have dumbass plays.
Poor Zeke was led to the slaughter.
Good Lord,
It's
man.
also probably going to be Zeke's last play as a Cowboy because they have an out on his contract after this year.
Sacrificial lamb. Go out there, Zeke. Snap it and get trucked.
The part we're also skipping is like, besides Moore and McCarthy, why is that even in the playbook in the first place? Why? What are we doing?
It reminds me of, you remember the Colts Patriots a long time ago when they had a special teams play?
Yeah.
And they just had the dude that was snapping it to the punter. The punter was under center.
I think it was Pat
and the
McAfee
Patriots had like 3 or 4 like guys at the defensive line going, they're not going to snap this, are they? And they snapped it.
They just mauled him.
But they weren't supposed to snap it. On
Was that
play,
what happened?
yes. On that play, they were trying to get some kind of to get them jumping off sides, get them to waste the timeout, and there was a miscommunication. They snapped it. Last night, they were supposed to snap that football.
How does you practiced that all week? At no point was Zeke like, "Hey, coach, I'm not a center." At no point did somebody speak up and say maybe a bad idea.
And you take him out of the play for all intents and purposes. I know you can throw him a lateral, but he's not a speedster. Right, like
made no sense.
Absolute
whatsoever.
mess. You got Dalton Schultz not going out of bounds, moving forward, so he stops the clock. I mean, just
also doesn't know what a toe drag is on the play before that.
Don't tell me Mike McCarthy's a good coach. Do not. I've seen that dude too many times do what he did last night to say he's a good coach.
Can I say
he won a Super Bowl off of Aaron Rodgers?
Can I say Mike McCarthy was a good coach?
No.
He was a good coach.
Not a good coach.
He was. Aaron Rodgers ain't Aaron Rodgers if not for Mike McCarthy.
You know what they say about the star, right?
What's that?
It's not a logo. It's a rating. Thank you. Thank you, Ramie. God.
I got it.
No one? All right. That's fine.
I was letting it absorb.
Oh, no. Don't hit me with the crickets. No, my first day.
I got
Has a murder mystery been solved? That more next.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. It'll be a chilly night with lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will have less wind than today, a lot of sunshine and highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
When it comes to your sewer, what goes down must come out. Get a detailed video inspection absolutely free with any sewer drain cleaning and keep life flowing in the right direction. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air, Bonnie.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
This is Monster Jam! See the legendary Gravedigger and more tear up the dirt with massive stunts. All-out racing. and crazy skills. It's adrenaline-charged fun for the whole family.
Let's hear it. Make some noise.
Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center this weekend. Tickets start at $20. Brought to you by BKT Tires.
Individual rates, coverage offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions, not available in all areas. Hey, small business owner, when's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But some don't check their rate often. Did you know rates can vary? In fact, taking 3 minutes to check your rate with Pi Insurance could save you up to 30%. Just go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for you with no hassle or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could save you money. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Live and local in the afternoon.
They always keep you on edge.
Cattles
and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
.445 on a Monday. Time check brought to you by Coastside Medical Clinic.
I really have to stop myself from saying vote Kings every time you do that because I got so used to doing it. Yeah.
Conditioning. Me too.
Just happens. Just throws it out there. Ramie, did you watch the Tiger King?
Yeah. Everybody did. We had nothing better to do. We were all locked in our houses.
I know.
Yeah.
Remember all those were the days. I
look back at it and I'm like, what? Why? Why did I watch that? Why would I watch that? I wouldn't watch that now.
I would.
You would?
Yeah, I would still watch it.
I was all in.
Now, if that came out now,
it's entertaining.
I got better things to do.
Didn't they make a season 2? I never tapped into that.
Yes.
Never watched
I
it.
never did it.
By then, I was like, nah,
I'm good.
I don't care.
I'm trying to remember if I watched season 2. If I did, it wasn't memorable, obviously. So one of the stories in the Tiger King was about Carol Baskin and her ex-husband, Don Lewis, that he went missing.
Well, it's about Joe Exotic. She was kind of a...
Well, I'm saying, I said part of the...
I thought you said... Never mind.
I didn't say the whole thing.
I thought you said it was about. Okay, my bad.
No.
Oh, yeah. Give me your booze. I am nourished by your hatred.
One of the stories within the Tiger King was Carol Baskin's ex-husband, Don Lewis, going missing. And some people believing that Baskin was at fault for the missing person. And some even saying that she killed him. She killed him and maybe
fed him to the Tigers.
Maybe she fed him to the Tigers, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is from the New York Post. Baskin declared that her missing ex-husband was found alive in Costa Rica. But the discovery is just now going viral over a year later. During a resurfaced November 2021 interview with ITV's This Morning talk show, Baskin alleged that her ex, who was declared legally dead in 2002 after disappearing a few years before, was actually alive and well. However, not everyone is buying it. Baskin herself told the Post she was unaware of the alleged revelation until the sequel series was broadcast in November of 2021. Quote, I was not aware of it until TK2. Is that what she's calling it, TK2?
I guess.
That's what the kids say?
It, yes.
Yeah.
Cool cats and kittens. Is that what it is? All you cool
Yes.
cats?
Yeah. Great pull.
TK2 aired. As much confusion and online debate ignited on social media. Animal rights activists allege in the resurfaced ITV footage that the Department of Homeland Security has been in touch with her former spouse. Lewis disappeared in 1997 at the age of 59. He would be 84 if he was still alive today. The Post has reached out to Baskin, the Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI for further comment. Meanwhile, Florida's Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office partially shot down Baskin's newly viral remarks when reached for confirmation. Quote, "We have not received any communication from our federal partners that confirms the location of Mr. Don Lewis. The investigation in Don Lewis's disappearance remains a priority for the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, as do all missing person cases."
So he is alive or he's not alive?
Baskin says that he's alive.
Okay.
But nobody has been able to confirm it.
Keep it.
Yeah, so nobody is confirming her claim.
Right.
Nobody credible is confirming her claim that this guy is still alive in Costa Rica.
She declared that he was alive in Costa Rica.
And said that Homeland Security informed her of this?
Yes.
But Homeland Security's not speaking on it?
Yes.
Okay.
And
All
Costa
right.
Rica's not speaking on this?
Can't we cite like the Freedom of Information Act or something to get to the bottom of this?
Do we really need to go that far on this?
I want to
like
know.
the fact that we've
so
got
wild.
the FBI and Homeland Security and all of these people because of Carol Baskin.
Right, wasting resources. That's what that is.
I don't know if I
This
want to
seems
say
like
that.
a cash grab.
Because, I mean, that, Don Lewis might have been murdered. For the Don Lewis family, I don't want to say they're wasting resources, but
Who was it that said this remains a priority after 25 years?
that would be the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah, I feel like after 25 years, they kind of notch it a little lower on the priorities
it's not
list.
that high a priority.
If you haven't gotten to it yet.
I'm not going to sit here and say that she murdered him and fed him to tigers because that would be irresponsible of me to say into a microphone.
Thank you, Ramie. Thank you for doing that.
But I'm not going to take it on Carol Baskin's word without any confirmation or backing up that this man was found alive in Costa Rica.
I mean, let's just say if she did murder him and feed him to lions.
Hypothetically
speaking,
Right,
would she just tell the New York Post, nah, you know what? I kind of murdered him and fed him to lions.
What's the statute of limitations?
Isn't it sad?
I feel like
I'm
she'd
making
still be in
somebody
trouble.
cat food.
I don't think there's any statute of limitations for
Think so?
murder.
I think there is. Let me look it up.
Thank you, Kyle.
No, you can't hold on. You can't murder somebody and then 20 years later be like, oh, well,
I did it.
Murdered him
That's
2 decades
true.
ago.
That's true.
That's not how this works.
That's why I'm
It's
not a
like-
lawyer.
You got like cold cases where people get dragged in and they get put away for life.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
It's murder,
True,
man. Now you
Yeah.
can't have double jeopardy if you
OJ
get
did-
somebody for one thing.
Mhm.
OJ did write a book that said, if I did it. I mean, he basically told you he did it.
Mm.
Still walking around.
So I can
Is that
confirm that
Twitter?
in Florida, which is where Carol Baskin
Oh.
lives, there is no statute of limitation on murder.
there's no-
so
okay.
she
You
can't
can't-
really admit to it.
Interesting.
can't,
It's state by state, if that's the
No, you
case.
just, look, can we stop this? We sound incredibly dumb right now.
Right now,
You can't kill somebody and then like 15 years later be like, yeah, I did it. You can't do anything about it.
What are you going to do about it? I killed him.
again,
Carol Baskin would be like, yeah, I fed him to the lions.
Again, I cite the O.J. Simpson evidence of the man wrote a book called
If
I Did It.
If I did it. Where he describes how he would have done it if he did
but
it.
he was tried. He can't be
Yeah, I
tried for
know.
the same crime.
I understand.
My goodness. This is going to be a fun segue. So Cobra Kai's coming back.
Also Netflix.
Was
That
it
is-
season 6?
6, yes.
I
You're not bailing, are you? You can't
no,
bail
I'm
at
too
this
pot
point.
committed. I'm still watching The Blacklist on NBC. It's going to like season 10.
They're not still making the
Yes, they are.
Blacklist. No, they're not.
Yes, Red Reddington
Really?
is still around.
Red Reddington?
Yes.
That's a real character's name?
James Spader.
That's the laziest name in the
It's
history
a
of fiction.
great show, but it's outworn its welcome.
You're like me then. You can't bail once you're
Well, dude,
invested
the
in
last
show.
season of Cobra Kai was so outrageous.
It was great.
And I know that was like the point of it,
Yeah,
but
it was so good.
No.
It was so good. I love
We're
that.
like borderline murdering people and like
That's the best part about it.
no.
We've gotten to the point
What is it with you?
where
Ramie, we should introduce you to Yellowstone. It's basically like one of Kevin Costner's children commits a murder every
I
episode.
thought about checking out Yellowstone.
I've heard
Recommend or
good
no?
things. I've heard good things.
I walked here's how I felt. Okay.
Yes.
And I'm not going to ruin it for anybody. Okay. Over-under, by the way, says Don Lewis is dead. Carol Baskin killed him.
Over-under
That's Don. Not us.
I walked away from Cobra Kai last season saying they tied up every loose end.
Mm-mm.
All the stories are done.
No, sir.
We can move on with our lives.
No.
I enjoyed the show. I'm a big believer that, like, by year 5, 99% of the shows need to call it quits by year 5.
I love.
Go look back at the long history of television. Most shows, when they get to like year 6, off a cliff.
I love.
You got 4 or 5 good years, and you get about 100 episodes of really good TV. And once you go beyond that, you're playing with fire.
A lot of the time, you're right. But I love that in Cobra Kai.
New Amsterdam. You know New Amsterdam?
No.
NBC show?
Never watched it.
So Kelly and I watch it. 5 seasons. Done.
What is it about?
13 episodes in the 5th season. Over. Perfect. Get it done.
So they're done. They're not
Done.
making any more new episodes.
They chopped it off.
Maybe I'll check that out.
They said enough is enough.
This seems like a cash
When it comes to Cobra
like
Kai, I just
season
love
15,
that there
season
are
18.
like grown men who are established. Like they have careers, they have businesses,
Yes.
they have families,
And they have karate tournaments to get to, damn it.
Whole lives going.
Yes.
They have whole lives going.
Yes.
And they're willing to put it all on the line. They're going to risk it all. They're
Yes.
going to commit major crimes.
Their life.
They're going to risk jail time. They're going to risk their own lives. They might even murder. I don't want to spoil anything, but they might even attempt to murder somebody
Yes.
and put their own families at risk. All in the interest of dominating the teenage karate dojo game. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're loco, man.
That's incredible.
It is commitment.
That's amazing. That's what I love. It's so absurd. It's what I love about the show. Every time I start to like fall into the trap that you were, I'm like, what are they doing?
I've seen enough.
I go, this is great.
Enough.
This is terrific.
I'll watch season 6 because again, I'm too committed at this point. But I would not lose any sleep if they said that
Aren't
was
they
the final season.
Going somewhere over to Asia for some tournament?
Yeah,
now?
they're gonna do a world tournament.
I love it.
As someone who's never seen this show before, you're really selling it,
Let's
Rami.
go. Kyle, check
You're
it out.
really
I'll tell
selling
you.
this
Can't
show.
wait for another love story between teenagers. Can't wait.
Now that part of it, I get bored.
Brutal.
Yeah,
It's all brutal.
all the side stories and love
Ralph
stuff.
Macchio's toupee.
You think it's not real?
Oh, that's 100% a toupe.
I don't know.
That is a
Ralph
hairpiece.
Macchio, he's aged well. Good for him.
That is a hairpiece on
I'm not going to hate.
A unit. Oh,
Good for Danny.
Yeah, I think it's a hairpiece.
Good for Danny LaRusso.
You're a Daniel LaRusso guy?
Yeah, what are you, a Cobra Kai guy?
No.
Okay.
Johnny Lawrence guy. Johnny Lawrence is way better. He's the best character on that show.
He is the best character on the show.
There's not even a close second.
Something they did with that show, and like,
Ralph Macchio's irritating.
In a real way, something that they did with that show was they took like the 80s bully, because he was like the prototype for every 80s bully that was in every movie back then. And they like made him human and like gave you the backstory and why he was such a bad and like they humanized him and actually made you sympathize and empathize with the dude and how he became the person that he is. After that, it just got silly and absurd. But I thought that was like a really good writing.
I
and
think
a really
this
good
is,
trick that they pulled in the first season.
I think this is the perfect ending to this segment. BW, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Dude, ... in all in caps of America, there is no statute of limitations on murder.
Yep. BW, I hear you and I see you. Thank you so much.
I did say that earlier. I said there was a chance that there might not be a statute of limitation on murder.
Thank goodness.
Question, should there be?
There's no statute.
God bless the USA.
There's no statute of limitations. As I've said, I've stayed consistent on this from the beginning. Look, Kyle was like, in Florida, I could just tell you in Florida, there is not a statute of limitations on murdering a human being.
If there was a state where I wouldn't be surprised
it'd be Florida.
that there was a statute of limitations on murder, and feeding the murder victim to tigers, it would be Florida.
Yeah, I said
100%.
lions earlier. It's tigers.
I'm also throwing Oregon in the hat. Get in there, Oregon.
Really? Is Oregon wacky like that?
Yeah.
You ever seen Fargo, man? Fargo
Oregon's-
teaches me the Dakota's got some.
Oregon's
some
catching a
stuff going
stray.
on.
Yeah. No, I was born there. I can say it.
Oh,
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
How long were you there for?
Like 6, 7.
Yeah, no.
She's an Oregonian.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count at all. All right, up next, Niners get defensive while Malik Monk has been offensive.
Cattles
And Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
for your everyday vehicle. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP oil filter for only $26.99. Do the complete job for the right price. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Welcome, Doug Christie here for the Good Feet Store with a question. How is the game of basketball like the Good Feet Store? And the answer is the very best basketball players do it all. Shoot, defend, rebound, they do it all. And the Good Feet Store does it all too. Good Feet manufactures their own line of arch supports, over 300 styles, sizes, and flexibilities. Good Feet arch support specialists at every store personally fit every customer for free with no obligation. Lastly, Good Feet sells its arch supports exclusively at over 200 Good Feet stores nationwide. Sore feet, aching back, knee or hip pain, even plantar fasciitis? When nothing else works, come to the Good Feet Store and experience the comfort, balance, and support of the Good Feet 3-step arch support system. The Good Feet Store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and now Vacaville off Nut Tree Parkway by Sprouts, online at goodfeet.com.
Folks, there's a fast break with the game on the line. He dribbles down the court, passes ahead for the alley-oop, and it's caught for a slam dunk.
Do you need an assist? Regain and optimize your performance. See what Pacific Men's Clinic can do to make your love life the best it can be. Pacific Men's Clinic's safe and pain-free, clinically proven procedure breaks up plaque and stimulates the growth of healthy new blood vessels. Call for your free consultation now at 916-545-7577. That's 916-545-7577.
People of the world, I am Chef Wes Andres, and I'm here with an important message. I'm speaking to you from downtown Curzon. As tonight gets dark, people are gonna go to their homes without electricity, without water, and very often without much food to eat. This winter is gonna be brutal, not only for the people of Curzon, but for many, many Ukrainians all across Ukraine, but especially in the places that they've been recently liberated near the front lines. The people of Ukraine right now are fighting for freedom. We're here with a very simple ask. World Central Kitchen will be able to keep doing the work we've been doing over the last 8-9 months with your support, with your help together. I know we will not leave the people of Ukraine alone.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
KHTK AM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Sacramento Kings.
It's Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickford. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Snaps it back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
to end it. Are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Cattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Lynn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Lock in for Cattles and Ramie.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Yeah. Happy Monday. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
5:04. As we get into our number 4, Ramie.
How you feeling?
Fourth and final hour. You watch
We all
college
hold up the
football, you
4?
put the 4s up.
We all hold up the 4.
Going 4. Wrestling fans, 4 horsemen. You can do that too as well. All right, so 2 big stories over the weekend. Obviously, the Niners are a big story. Heading to the NFC Championship game. Interesting matchup at Philadelphia coming up next weekend. Not going to get into the Eagles game right now. It's far too early. Still kind of taking a look back at what happened yesterday. And obviously, Ramie, to me, the number one thing that stands out is this defense. And the first thing, when you watch this Niners defense, is their speed from sideline to sideline. It is insane how quick and athletic this team is on all levels, but especially linebacker.
Yeah, and to the point where DeMeco Ryans was 100% okay with having his linebackers run with wide receivers, including CeeDee Lamb. And Bill Barnwell had a great breakdown on his in his article today at ESPN.com, showing that on the first interception, the one that Lenore got, his first read was CeeDee Lamb over the middle, but Dre Greenlaw was running stride for stride with him. I think they said he was running 18 point some miles per hour to CeeDee Lamb's just over 19. Like, he was literally almost step for step
That's bananas.
running with that dude. And then on the second interception, it's actually Fred Warner running with the wide receiver, and the ball was tipped, which that's the defense of Dak when it comes to a lot of his interceptions, that they're going off the hands of receivers or getting tipped at the line, whatever the case might be. But for Fred Warner to even be in the vicinity at that stage of the play and running hip to hip with the wide receiver to make that play is ridiculous, man. They have so many good players up and down every level of that defense. And with DeMeco Ryans just pushing all the right buttons and pulling all the right strings, it's an impressive thing to watch on a week-to-week basis.
And here's the thing, when you have that speed and athleticism, that's part of it. But the fact that this team, aside from Hufanga a couple of times in the last 5-6 games of this year, they have been incredibly disciplined. And DeMeco talked about that at the end of the regular season, saying, look, our safeties, Gibson had a missed assignment or 2.
Yep.
And Hufanga, he shot out of a cannon. And sometimes that's a great thing, right? And we saw it a couple of occasions yesterday where he reads it perfectly. He blitzes. He's in the backfield as soon as the ball is snapped. But he did have some discipline issues later in the year. This team, so athletic, so fast, and also so disciplined, and IQ. Like, when you're actually allowing your linebackers to cover guys like you just mentioned and being able to trust them in that spot, they have a high IQ on the defensive side of the football.
He took away CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Like, a linebacker took away Dak Prescott's first read and his number one wide receiver and made him go to his second read, and there was Lenore waiting for that. It's crazy.
There's literally no weakness to this defense if Hufanga and Gibson play right, and if
just play sound football.
Yeah, and if Lenore plays sound football.
Yeah.
Like, you can try to, and teams have tried it, and Lenore obviously had the pick yesterday. They've tried to attack him. They've been successful a decent amount of times, and I think you can certainly expect shots downfield against Philly with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and company. But again, their speed, their IQ, their tackling ability, they're really elite at all three levels. They have, a top-notch player, top-notch caliber player at each level, defensive line, linebacker, secondary. They're just so good. And DeMeco Ryans, the one last thing I would say about this defense is DeMeco Ryans' play calling. He doesn't take anything for granted. And when you have the athletes and the talent that he has on that side of the ball, you could get lazy if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And say, no, we're just going to stick to the script. Ryans will throw wrinkles in there, and he will trust his guys to adapt and understand the wrinkles and execute the wrinkles. DeMeco Ryans is incredibly impressive. I think all of us know he's going to be gone as soon as this season is over. He's going to be a head coach somewhere. But can't say enough about this defense. And the run game helped out as well yesterday. And as long as you get the run game and you get that defense playing at that level, you get a chance to win a championship. You get a chance to win the Lombardi in a few weeks. The other story.
That would be crazy.
The other story over the weekend was the disappointing loss by the Kings to the Sixers. Now,
they broke the cattle's curse.
I was going to say,
Friday night.
Broke the cattle's curse on Friday. Mission accomplished. And 30,000 feet, we still feel really good where this team is. We're not panicking. But bad loss on Saturday night to a team that did not have Harden or Embiid. And Malik Monk, Ramie, continues to have his issues.
And you've been banging, You've been banging that drum for a minute about Malik Monk, and maybe cause for concern that the guy who Mike Brown was touting as sixth man of the year a few weeks into the season, and rightly so. I mean, he looked like the sixth man of the year at that point of the season, and we were all very much on the Malik Monk hype train for going on a couple of months now. Nick has not looked like that guy. And I wouldn't call it pushback when it comes to when you've said that here over the last few weeks that maybe there is something to worry about with Malik Monk. I've not been there yet. I've said, no, I'm not too worried yet. It's still going to be fine. But I'm starting to get to the point now, Nick. I think a lot of people are, where you're wondering if that version of Malik Monk is even coming back, because this is a long stretch now where he just hasn't been that guy. And without him, there are a few things that keep popping up in losses, and these things popped up in the loss to Philadelphia on Saturday, even though Joel Embiid and James Harden didn't play, like losing the rebounding battle, the points in the paint battle, the turnovers,
second chance points,
second chance points. More and more, the one of the consistent red flags to pop up is getting smoked in bench scoring, and that starts with Malik Monk. And if he's not that guy, Nick, it just it further hastens the importance of going and getting somebody to put on that bench, or maybe for Mike Brown to shuffle the deck a little bit, try something a little different. I threw out there earlier, maybe, and not to say you're benching anybody, but maybe swap Kevin Huerter for Malik Monk, put a little bit less pressure on Monk to score. You can put the ball in Davion's hands a little bit more with that second unit. Kevin Huerter can be the scorer on the second unit. I don't know if that solves the problem. I'm just, at some point in time, if Malik Monk doesn't wake up, Mike Brown has got to try something to shake this up.
And look, coaches, they're worried about one thing. They're worried about winning. And, this is the delicate balance where, does Coach Brown feel like, I'm just going to keep playing my starters because the goal is to win games. And right now, that gives me the best chance to win games, is to play these guys 38 minutes, 39 minutes, 40 minutes. And I know somebody put in the chat at YouTube, youtube.com, Sactown Sports 1140, saying, oh, well, Domas is 46 10 minutes. And what's the big deal? These guys are young and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, I would like to see where the minutes have been recently, because it feels like as the year has gone on, these guys have played more minutes. Now, maybe that's just, perception and not reality. But Harrison Barnes is playing a lot of minutes. Domas is playing a lot of minutes.
Yeah, man.
And there might be games where they play 30 and it kind of evens out, but they're asking a lot from their starters. And the guy that I would be most concerned about is Keegan, because he's young. This is his first shot at an 82-game season. And if you want him with his legs late in the year, if he's out there playing 35 minutes, 36 minutes a night, he's going to get a little tired. And so, I wonder if Coach Brown is he's thinking like a coach, which is like, hey, man, we got to win. Like he doesn't have the gravitas or the leeway like a Steve Kerr who could just be like, no, I'm not going to play Steph Curry more than like X amount of minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like no, we got to win.
And Mike Brown has talked about coaching with that mentality and with that urgency because and he's said this in not so many words, and I've said this, they're not good enough. You know what I mean? To sort of toy and tinker around with stuff and we'll get those wins back later in the season. And B, things are so tightly bunched in the West that you need every win that you can get. He's talked about coaching with that in mind and with that sort of urgent style that every game matters.
You want to talk Kings? Want to talk Niners? 916-339-1140 is the text line. The number is 1-800-920-1140. Phone lines open for you. Also, all guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. We'll get to your reaction on Kings and Niners. Also, speaking of the Kings, did they just lose out on a top trade target? We'll have the latest in 90 seconds.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports goes 100% live and local.
From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Starting January 23rd. Tune into Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. Followed by the return of Deuce and Mo.
Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Followed by Cattles and Ramie from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. You wanted more local? We're giving you more local on Sactown Sports. Your local sports leader.
I'm in the great outdoors doing a little Dodge watching with Vince Bloom, the big guy at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge. Would you look at that? You know, those are some pretty high-powered binoculars you got there, Vince.
Yeah, I use them to spot all the Lasher license plates out there.
Well, there's bound to be a lot because, you are the big guy after all, and the big guy's known for making great deals on new Ram 1500 Bighorns and Longhorns, Tradesmen and Laramies, crew cabs and quad cabs, 4x4s and 4x2s.
I know. Hold on. I see another one.
Another what? Looked like it might have been a new Dodge Challenger.
I think so.
Or a new Dodge Charger. Elk Grove Dodge sells a ton of those, and new Durangos, Chrysler Pacificas, Jeep Cherokees, and the new Grand Cherokee, Jeep Compass, Gladiators, and Wranglers, and the all-new Wagoneer. I've heard Elk Grove Dodge has great deals on those, too.
Oh, he's taken off.
Oh, I'm sorry. You lose him?
Oh, no. Just another happy customer migrating back to Elk Grove Dodge.
No surprise there, because for over 40 years, the name Lasher means a great deal.
Only at Lasher's Elk Grove Dodge, and the Elk Grove Auto Mall, and online at elkgrovedodge.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and more.
This is Cattles and Ramie
on Sactown Sports.
5:15 on a Monday. Time check brought to you by Coastside Medical Clinic. So, Ramie, Michael Scotto today of Hoops Hype wrote that the Kings were interested in Rui Hachimura. And I was walking into today's show fully expecting to talk about Hachimura again and what kind of fit he would be for the Kings. Then that quickly changed when about 5 minutes after I read the Scotto note, Adrian Wojnarowski told us all that Hachimura is on his way to L.A. So he's on his way to California, but he's on his way to California to play for the Lakers. Here was Woj.
L.A. and Washington this morning zeroed in on the deal that they ultimately landed on. Rui Hachimura for Kendrick Nunn and those 3 second-round picks, a 2023 pick that L.A. has via Chicago, and the Lakers' own 2029 pick. And
this pains me to say it. This is a home run deal for the Lakers. Home run. And it's not because I think Rui Hachimura is going to be the difference between the Lakers being NBA champions or not. Okay.
I was going to ask you what you meant by home.
No, that's a straw man's argument. No, nobody is even saying that. I haven't seen anybody on Twitter or anybody on TV or anybody. No one has mentioned this now takes the Lakers over the top. The Lakers need all the help they can get and all the talent that they can get. And to get Hachimura, who I loved in college, and I still think he has talent, and I still think he has potential. He just scored his career high in points. I think he dropped like 30 over the weekend. This is a guy, he's no joke. He's a talented dude. And I think people sometimes, they make the mistake of watching a young player. Number one, they just want it to immediately, like that, change, right? Like all of a sudden, if you're not an all-star by year 2, you're a failure.
Mm-hmm.
Settle down. players develop over time. Some of them develop quicker than others. Some of them take a while. I think we overlook the context of a player's career, especially when they're younger, like playing for a terrible Wizards team and organization, not having a lot of talent around you. Like, let's see how Hachimura looks playing with Anthony Davis and LeBron James when he's not getting really any focus and he's allowed to, do what he's got to do.
Right.
So this is, I think, a tremendous trade by the Lakers because they didn't give up much of anything. Kendrick Nunn and second-round picks.
That's the thing to me. I don't think I'm with you in that. Look, Rui Hachimura doesn't push the Lakers over the top. You know what I mean? Like as I said earlier in the season, a lot of time, energy, and resources are being wasted on covering what the Lakers are going to do. And
I got no more use for this guy.
I don't have any more use for the Lakers. They're not. They're not title contenders, and they weren't before Hachimura, and they're not after. In terms of the value of what they got for what they gave up, yeah, it's a really good deal. I thought the market would ask for more for Rui Hachimura.
Me too.
Than what it ended up hashing out. And if I'm the Kings, I'm willing to give up what the Lakers gave up for that guy. And honestly, I think it moves the needle more for the Kings than it does for the Lakers or for any team in the upper half of their conference's playoff picture. For the Lakers, though, I'm not any more worried about the Lakers today than I was yesterday because they went and got Rui Hachimura. I'm a little disappointed that the Kings didn't make the move, but that doesn't do a lot for the Lakers in my eyes, at least not for this season. Maybe he's a part of something in future seasons.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because another piece of this trade is that now you have Hachimura on your roster.
And he's what, 23, 24?
24. And I know that Woj tweeted something along the lines of that they're looking at Hachimura as a long-term piece, that they're going to work out an extension. They want to hammer out an extension.
Yeah, Hachimura is a restricted free agent after the end of this season.
Yeah, so they're gonna work on a deal with him, and I'd be shocked if the Lakers didn't pay him. So not only do you get him for this year, but now you have at least a young buildable piece on your roster that you didn't have before this trade. Again, I'm not telling you that Rui Hachimura is going to set the world on fire. He's going to average 30 a night and be incredible. But looking at this roster, you needed talent. You needed young talent. You needed talent that you could sign and keep for a number of years down the road. And so I just think this is really a no-brainer. He also has a history with Westbrook. We'll see how that works out. But, I was seeing some video of their days together and kind of some of the conversations and Westbrook pulling him to the side and having these veteran talks with him and stuff. So maybe there's a link with Westbrook there and Hachimura. I don't know if Westbrook will be a Laker by the deadline, but I think it's a no-brainer. But the side of the Kings, first of all, I think it's justifiable to ask the question whether or not, did the Kings, mess up by not being as aggressive if that's the case.
I thought you were going to ask, did they put up a competitive offer?
Because what we saw, who was it? We have a tweet, right? Shams, right? Shams tweeted out that he said that the Lakers, Pacers, and Suns were the teams that were in on Hachimura. So according to Shams, the Kings weren't really...
They weren't even a top 3 team.
Yeah. I mean, Michael Scotto named them saying they were interested, but that could always be for leverage. So
all due respect to Michael Scotto,
yes,
I'll trust Shams.
I would agree. Yes. So it really comes down to A, did Monty offer anything? B, what did he offer? C, did the Wizards, for whatever reason, like what the Lakers offered more than what Monty offered? Let's say Monty offered Terrence Davis and 3 second-round picks. Maybe the Wizards just wanted Nunn more than Davis. Nunn's actually been shooting a little bit better lately. He's been making some threes. Davis is out of the rotation. So maybe the Wizards were like, well, at least we'll get somebody who we could play. So, I'm not by any means blaming Monty because I don't know what the offer was. I don't know how interested they were in him. All I would say is the other part of this too that you got to think about is the HB money, because if you're trading for Hachimura, you probably want to extend him unless, depending on what you gave up, and do you want to just keep Barnes here? So that's all a part of the equation, right? Do you want HB here with Keegan going into next season and you want to sign HB to a long-term deal? If you want to keep HB here and sign him to an extension, then Hachimura, you don't want to really keep him because what's the point? He's, the 6th, 7th man off the bench. He's going to want more than that, right? So there's so many different things. to kind of break down when you look at a trade. It's never so easy as people want to make it. I will say, though, I hope Monty has options. And there are wings out there. There are guys out there that I think will be available. I think it's a necessity that Monty adds a wing to this team, and preferably a wing that can shoot.
And preferably pretty soon.
Like Doug McDermott. I'd be fine with Doug McDermott.
Dougie McBuckets.
Not a great defender by any means, but
it's a great nickname.
Dude can shoot.
One of the best nicknames.
Right? McDermott, Kelly Oubre is a name that's out there. Wouldn't mind Kelly Oubre.
Not going to say his nickname.
Are you as confused by the NBA trade market as I am, though? Like, when you look at what Gobert went for, what Mitchell went for, what
this
Hachimura
is
went
cheaper
for,
than what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, some guys are going, for, it seems like, for absurd prices.
I think it's the contract. I think teams, and maybe that's why Monty wasn't too involved.
Maybe.
Because if you bring Hachimura in, you now have to give him a qualifying offer. There's all that restricted free agency stuff going on. And maybe Monty was like, we want more flexibility than what Hachimura will bring.
I'm a little confused by the NBA trade market. It just doesn't seem like there's any consistency to what guys are worth out there.
I think we got to see how it plays out. I mean, it's not like off season is one thing when it's all about a team's desperation level. Look, the Wolves overpaid for Gobert. I think everybody agreed with that. And then once that trade happened, now when you trade Donovan Mitchell, Danny Ainge is going to get a king's ransom for Mitchell because what he just got for Gobert.
Are people saying, though, that the Cavaliers lost that trade, though? Because I feel like they gave up a lot, and they weren't expecting Markkanen to be the player he's been in Utah. But I don't think people are saying, like, Cleveland got fleeced out of that deal.
No, because Donovan's been really good if he could stay healthy. The Markkanen stuff, again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying about Hachimura. You get young players, you put them in situations. He was in Chicago, then he gets moved to Cleveland. I don't think Markkanen, I don't think Markkanen would have been given nearly the opportunity in Cleveland because you've got Garland with the basketball. You've got LeVert.
He was there 2 years. We would have seen it by now.
Yeah, like it's offensive system, it's coaching staff, it's who's with them on the team. It's a million different things. So, Markkanen works in Utah. I don't think Cleveland looks at that and says, "Oh man, we traded Lauri Markkanen." I just don't think they were going to use him the way Utah uses him, which impacts his value. So. But we'll have to wait and see about how the rest of this market plays out. Monty, obviously, again, I think the Kings need at least two pieces, a backup legit center for Domas and also a wing that can score.
And how about an extension for Monty while we're at it?
Yeah, still waiting for that extension. Waiting and waiting and waiting.
Is it still early 2023?
Yeah.
All right, just checking.
Instead of vote Kings, let's go extend Monty.
Extend Monty.
I'll remind people once an hour.
Let's talk Kyle Shanahan next.
Cattles
and Ramie.
Sactown Sports. Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Nature Wood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality. And Safe Credit Union. Let us put you first.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the next generation of speed with the long-awaited Ping G430 line of clubs. With more ball speed, improved sound, and movable weights, the Max Driver is something special. You'll find distance with forgiveness in the fairways, carbon fly wrap in the hybrids, and 7 to 10 yards more in the irons. G430 was worth the wait. Ask about the full line of Ping G430 woods and irons at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREONinfo.com.
Hi, guys. It's Mark with Coastside Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with ED and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our WAVE technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now. And not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but we'll also include something unique that produces powerful results. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000. Guys, put a stop to your ED and get your life back. Call Coastside Medical Clinic now to qualify. 916-603-2000. That's 916-603-2000.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines. With your Sactown Sports headlines, I'm Simone Rickford. It was a back-and-forth contest last night between the Dallas Cowboys and the 49ers, but in the end, the 49ers are headed to Philadelphia.
Expansive back to Dak Prescott. He throws over the middle to Turpin. He gets hammered down by Jimmy Ward. The game is over.
What a way
to end it. Are on their way to Philadelphia.
George Kittle showed out making a juggling catch that sparked a touchdown drive in the third quarter, and the 49ers defense had one of the best performances of the year, highlighted by interceptions by Fred Warner and Diamador Lenore, punching their second consecutive admission to the NFC Championship game slated for this weekend in Philadelphia. Nick Cattles broke the curse as the Kings served up a dub over OKC on Friday night, but the Beam team fell short on Saturday night against the 76ers.
2.9 to go. Philly up 2. Barnes missed the first, made the second. Getting ready for the third. Line drives it. Tipped by Glenn, and the ball game is over. Philadelphia has now defeated Sacramento 9 consecutive times.
The Kings will have another opportunity to get in the win column tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently sitting pretty with the number 2 seed in the West. It all happens live at Golden One Center with game night coverage starting at 6 p.m. right here on Sactown Sports after Cattles and Ramie. I'm Simone. Those are your Sactown Sports headlines. Log in for Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie.
Cattles and Ramie. Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
5:31 on this Monday. Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. So, Debo Samuel and Micah Parsons had a little back and forth on Instagram. Do you see this?
Love a good back and forth
Love
on social media.
A good quality back and forth.
That's what it was made for.
Do we need more of those?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Everybody keep it civil, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no need to let this stuff bleed
This is
over
not a
into the real
thing.
world. It's not a play thing.
Let's not get a little crazy.
Exactly.
Right? So Debo had 2 pictures on his IG account, right? He tweeted, he posted.
By the way, did you see the picture of Debo pregame and what he was wearing?
Yes.
That was sharp.
I wanted you to wear that Saturday night to the place we hung out. If you walked in there like that.
He pulled it off. If I wore it, I just look like a Batman villain.
Yes.
You know what I mean? With my stature and build. Yeah, it doesn't.
Well, now we need to make this happen.
I don't. I don't look good in a suit. Like, it just doesn't, my body type, it just doesn't, suits don't do me any favors, man. Just does not do me any favors. Especially, and he had the handbag that matched the suit. Did you notice that?
The handbag it's an extra level.
That was another level.
That's an extra level. All right, so Debo, he posts 2 pictures. One of them was kind of like a graphic of Micah Parsons saying, "This is who I wanted," talking about the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a picture of Debo, like, looking at his phone, kind of like a
confused
what face?
Yeah.
Like, and that led to him also in the quotes, "Don't poke the bear." And so Parsons came back with, "LOL, what did you do today, fam? LOL. But congrats on the win. Don't put me in this weak blank slide." Here's my question to you.
What does weak blank slide mean?
Does Micah Parsons have the right to say anything about Debo and the lack of production he had yesterday when his football team lost the game?
No, you lost, dude.
Right.
It doesn't matter doesn't matter what Debo did in the loss or in the win or what you did in the loss. Dude, you lost.
Correct.
This is a part where you take the L.
Yep.
Debo talks his trash.
Yep.
You go home for the offseason, come back next year and hope for better things. That's all there is to it.
So Debo obviously wins. Whoever wins on the scoreboard wins the back and forth. Like, there's just, like, Debo just say scoreboard. You lost. Go home. Enjoy watching me on Sunday. I'll be in Philly playing in the NFC Championship game. You will not be. Good night. Like, there's no, like, if I was Micah, I'd just stay quiet. Like, hey, man, like you said, take the L. Take the L, wear it like a badge of courage on your chest, and move on with your life.
It's not a good look.
No.
You're not going to come out looking good when you're like, what did you do when we lost? Well, you lost.
If you're going to tweet, wait 24 hours until after you lose to tweet.
So, speaking of the Cowboys Niners yesterday, the end of the first half bothered me. So, the Niners had a $1:15 on the clock and 2 timeouts. They're on their own 28. And for the life of me, I don't understand why. And we'll have Shanahan in a minute or two defending himself. But watching that, I'm wondering why in the world you run the football not once but twice. And then after running, this game's 6-6. You're on your 28, 2 timeouts, $1:15. To me, let's try to get the ball down the field and score a touchdown. $1:15 with 2 timeouts is a lifetime in the NFL.
Yeah.
Run. Then they wasted 26 seconds before they took the second and final timeout they had in their pocket. They just sat around for 26 seconds.
Let almost 30 seconds burn.
And so, not only that, they're throwing the ball in the middle of the field, which, what are we doing? You don't have a timeout. You got to get down the field now and clock it when you're throwing it into the middle of the field. Everything should be hash and out, right? Like, throw towards the sideline so somebody can catch and go out of bounds, unless you're Dalton Schultz, who's like, do it. I'm going to go, backwards so the clock keeps running. But I'm like, what? And so it all leads to the Brock throwaway, which by like a half a second they made it. Brock airmails it. If that ball
was close.
If that had 10 more feet of air underneath it, the clock runs out and you get nothing.
If that's not the home field clock operator, you're maybe not getting getting that second on the clock there.
So here was Shanahan. Of course, he was asked about it, and here's what he had to say.
When it's 3rd and 1, and I think there was like 50 seconds, they have 2 timeouts. I would hate to not get that first down to show you guys why I did it. That's kind of something we believe in. We don't want to give the ball back to them. We liked where the score was at. We still think we have time to score, but when you get to 3rd and 1 and you have, I think we had 1 timeout and they had 2, we weren't about to not get that 3rd down, punt it to them, or if we threw it, they'd still have 2 timeouts and 45 seconds, and now they're ending with points in the half if they score, similar to how Seattle did at the end of the half. But the difference is they were also starting with the ball in the 3rd quarter. So, now once you get the first down and stuff, yeah, then I wished that we went faster, but you don't know if you're going to get that first down or not. So you want to play it the smart way, and I thought we did do that. Thought we made some big plays. I wanted Juwan, the protection to wait for Juwan to still get a field goal out of it was huge, though.
He's full of crap.
Has he not been watching his defense?
Number one, yes. Number one, You're worried about punting it with 40 seconds left to Dak Prescott, who's thrown 2 picks and your defense is all world. You're worried about that offense moving 50, 60 yards downfield in a matter of like 30 seconds to kick a field goal with a kicker who was struggling. That's
5 straight misses.
Number 1. Number 2, conveniently, he talks about, 3rd and 1. Hey, why did you waste 26 seconds before the 3rd and 1? You still wasted 26 seconds before you took the timeout on 3rd and 1, which left you less time. Like, if it was about getting the first down on 3rd and 1, then you would just run the play and then, hey, we didn't get it. It doesn't make sense. And this goes back to, and I see people, and we talked about this on Friday, like, oh, you can't criticize Kyle Shanahan because of what he's done. I see people like, oh, he's got it figured. So this was another example of crystal ball Kyle, right? Like, he knew.
This one I can't make a lot of sense of. I was one of those people who said I'm kind of done questioning Kyle Shanahan. There's not an explanation he can give to this that makes total sense.
No, so his plan was to get 1 second left on the clock for a 50-yard field goal with Purdy running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
Oh, no, he wasn't happy about that. You saw him after, when Purdy came to the sideline.
The goal of football is to score points.
Wait, say that again?
Yeah. The goal, Kyle Shanahan, of football, of any sport, is to score points or goals.
That's crazy.
Someone should have reminded Josh Allen that yesterday.
The more points you score, the better chance you have of winning the game.
You're some kind of genius.
This is a 6-6 game. He played for a field goal in a 6-6 game before the half. This is the guy who lost a 28-3 lead to the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl because he was out of his mind calling passes when they should have run the football and just won the Super Bowl. This guy has a long history of being way too conservative in bad moments. It bit him in the Super Bowl against Kansas City as the head coach of this football team, and it bit him again as Atlanta's offensive coordinator against the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
And just with the team that he has, especially, that explanation that he gave right there does not make sense.
No, makes no sense.
At all. The team he has and the kicker he was going against. Like that, it just doesn't add up, man.
Because wasting the 26 seconds before going for it on the 3rd and 1, right, and getting the first down, his point is like, well, what if we didn't get the 3rd and 1 first down? But you left yourself so little time that you had to be perfect to get a 50-yard field goal off.
And even then, time almost ran out on the half.
You got a minute 15 and 2 timeouts, man. Running the football once, okay, all right, maybe. Back-to-back runs? There's literally no reason. Well, you didn't think your offense was going to get 1 yard, Kyle? You wasted 26 seconds because you didn't think your offense was capable of getting a single yard.
And were you really that scared that Dallas was going to march down the field on that defense and get into field goal range with that kicker?
This is why last week when you wondered, should we question Kyle? I said, yes. It doesn't mean he's having an incredible season, 15-4 with a 3rd-string quarterback. No one's going to deny that. You have a chance to get to your 2nd Super Bowl with him. But it doesn't mean he's flawless. It doesn't mean that he has no weaknesses. Some of his play calling in these moments is bad. It's conservative. He's a conservative coach. His 3rd down and short decisions, his 4th down decisions, his decisions when he's in plus territory. Him and Mike McCarthy yesterday, they were just fine kicking punts from the other team's field.
No, don't compare him to Mike McCarthy. They're comparing him to Mike McCarthy. Take it easy.
It was like
on a scale of 1 to Mike McCarthy, where do you grade him?
I'm just saying, they were both coaches were like, so we're in plus territory. Let's just punt. What? He's not flawless, folks.
Well, to add to your point, Andy Reid is the greatest offensive coach in the history of the NFL, and he's messed up clock management all the time. He did it last year in the AFC Championship game. He did it against the Patriots.
And he'll also call a crazy trick play for no reason and ruin a drive.
Nobody's
At least
flawless
once every couple games.
I mean, big picture, you got a good one.
Of course. I mean, Shanahan he's known as one of the better coaches in the league, and he should be. But yeah. And his defense of that yesterday was almost worse than how he handled it. We preview Kings Grizzlies coming up.
Cattles and Ramie.
Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Quick Quack Car Wash.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay clear tonight. It'll be a chilly night with lows in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will have less wind than today, a lot of sunshine and highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
Great outdoors, exciting and beautiful, but they're also dusty and muddy. So after every adventure, I head to Quick Quack Car Wash. No one would expect I spent more of my weekend parked on a trail than in my garage. Head to Quick Quack for a shine that lets you defy expectations.
It all started with a group of cowboys who broke from the mold and wanted more. 30 years later, the ride continues, and the professional bull riders have never been more ranked.
The best ever! We were here for it!
Don't be Celebrate 30 years with 3 huge nights this February 3rd through 5th at the Golden One Center in downtown Sacramento. Stop by Loop Neighborhood Market, where Monster Energy is available now.
It's hard to find a better selection of 4x4s in stock and ready to drive home today than you'll find at M&S Auto on El Camino right off the Cap City Freeway. New truck prices keep rising. M&S invites you to tour their selection of super clean 4x4s and trucks and save thousands. Tacomas, F-150s, Jeeps, Rams, Silverados. Great deals today on hundreds of 4x4s, SUVs, and muscle cars. First-time buyers are welcome. M&S Auto Sales, El Camino, just off the Cap City Freeway. MSAutogroup.com.
They say they'll get your biggest tax refund. Jackson Hewitt says your biggest tax refund guaranteed, and a chance to double your tax refund. Thousands in weekly prizes during the Double Your Refund sweepstakes. Your biggest refund times 2, twice the money, so forget about them. File your taxes on the double at Jackson Hewitt today. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to U.S. residents 18 or older who file a 2022 federal tax return. Promotion ends 4/2/23. Visit jacksonhewitt.com for rules.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, continues their $500 primetime football giveaway through the playoffs. That's $500 per game for the late games played Saturday and Sunday night. Still located conveniently downtown in a friendly environment for the best food, best service, and best actions. It's Capital Casino, open 24/7. And please, as always, remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
With you 1 mile at a time during the afternoon drive. Cattles and Run.
Sactown Sports.
The end of our first 4-hour show together, Ramie. How's the gas tank?
Exhausted.
I'm B. Anyway, Kyle, did I do all my responsibilities? Am I good here? Am I going to get in trouble?
You're good.
Okay. Just going to make sure I get all the reads.
There you go.
You know?
We're good?
I'll throw a Folsom Lake Honda hotline in there. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Just in case.
One-stop Honda shop.
Just in case.
We're good.
So, Kings Grizzlies tonight, Ramie.
Yes, sir. Do we know if Ja and Steven Adams
I have not seen anything. Do we know?
We are going based off Frankie's Twitter. We have no new information.
No new information.
Okay.
Come on, Carticelli.
Get on
Get on that.
Come on.
Dude, I am just refreshing. Like, where's Frankie? Come on, give me something.
I love how you're refreshing him like you just can't text him. Like you don't know
That's so
him.
true.
You do have
That's
his
my
number.
boy.
Just zip a text over to him. Hey,
That's
Frankie,
my boy.
But is
Insider.
Frankie going to find out that Steven Adams is out and immediately text Simone before going to the
I
tweets?
know, that's why I got to do it.
Should.
I got to text him first.
I was hoping that Ramie would show up to tonight's game in a cardigan and sit on the front row.
Talk some
Just
smack.
stand up and start talking smack at him.
Yep.
I don't think I fill out that cardigan
No.
quite the way that Shannon
No.
Sharpe does.
So big game tonight. I know Deuce and Mo, first show today. Well done to the both of them. 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday through Friday here on Sactown Sports. I enjoyed watching and listening to them today. You can always do that. YouTube.com, Sactown Sports 1140. Even though Deuce did take a shot at people that say algorithm, and I felt like that was a straight shot at me.
What do you say about people who say algorithm?
He was just like, I don't know why we say algorithm. It's just, if you like it, more people get to watch it.
And so I don't appreciate your tone either.
I don't know why we use the word algorithm. All these people use an algorithm. I was like, he's calling me out.
Was he saying people were misusing it?
I will say that Mo said algorithm, which set him off to the whole thing to begin with.
All right. I feel like you're just trying to pick fights with everybody at the station today.
No.
You started in with me, and I didn't hang out long enough.
Well,
Dave went after me over astrology.
No, I went
me.
I went after you because your pants and sneakers.
Oh, no. Okay, people. Since he brought it up here, let's just say I am wearing a fabulous pair of green pants here today.
Very colorful.
Believe they're referred to as pistachio colored.
I like minty.
Yeah.
You sound cooler if you say minty.
Yeah.
Ramie, you're a comedian. Pistachio is a funnier word.
It's funnier, but if you're going for cool, then I'd say minty.
All right, so I know Deuce was saying, big game tonight. I think he said biggest game of the year.
Yeah.
So Deuce, and look, Deuce and Mo, they know what they're talking about with the Kings. Everybody knows that. And Deuce and Mo, they study this stuff. They watch the league as much as anybody, if not more. Deuce says it's a big game. It's a big game. I would agree with Deuce. 2-seed Grizz, 3-seed Kings in the Western Conference. By the way, Professor Oak on Twitter tweeted this out. If a Kings win would tie the season series at 2-2, pull the Kings only 3.5 games back of the 2-seed. A loss and the Grizzlies wrap up the season series 3-1 and open up the gap between second and third to 5.5 games. So if you're looking at second, third seed stuff, it's a pretty important one tonight, just for seeding wise. Watch for tonight. When I'm sitting down, I'm watching this game. The first thing I'm thinking of is Adams versus Sabonis. And I know people would say Ja versus Fox, but
I was just going to say that.
I'm watching the two big guys in the middle.
I was just going to say that because we've talked, Nick, today a couple of different times about how one of the things that keeps popping up is opponents dominating the boards, getting second chance points, dominating points in the paint. We just had another 70 points in the paint game a couple nights ago with Philadelphia, and that was without Joel Embiid in the game. And it's not just on Domas Sabonis to try and slow down Steven Adams and do that dirty work around the rim of pulling down those rebounds and not giving him those chance at the second chance points. It's Keegan Murray, after Mike Brown called him out and his rebounding out a couple of weeks ago, he was really good on the boards, disappeared again on Saturday night in terms of the rebounding game. There's a number of guys there in that. Lyles. A lot of guys there in that 4 and 5 rotation. They got their work laid out for them with one of the strongest guys around the rim. It's a guy who Shannon Sharpe didn't even want any of that smoke. In Steven Adams standing there.
Are you sure? Because Shannon Sharpe said nobody wanted the smoke.
He did not say Steven Adams. He made sure to keep Steven Adams' name out of his mouth.
He did clearly not say Steven Adams.
Yes.
Dylan Brooks got to mention.
Multiple Morants.
Ja got to mention. Ja's dad got to mention. Nothing for the 6'11", 265-pound Steven Adams.
Nothing at all.
That was certainly interesting. And I'm trying to look up their last matchup. It was right before Turkey Day. No, it was New Year's Day.
Yes.
And so Adams in that game, 11 and 23. 23 rebounds against the Kings on New Year's Day. The other game, it's something about the holidays, right before Thanksgiving. In that game, Adams was 5.16 rebounds. And the first
that wasn't
game
the game that Domas injured his hand, right?
No, I was at that game. I remember that one.
Of course.
I was watching. Hey, curse is done, buddy. That talk's over.
Curse is on pause.
And then the first game of the year, 12 and 11. So better the first game around, but since then, especially the last time they played, Adams has just been all over the glass. So, I heard Deuce say this earlier today, and I totally agree with him. What the Grizzlies do well is what has really hurt the Kings, like when they lose games, right? Like the Grizzlies are big on second chance points and rebounds, and they're that scrappy team that will cause turnovers and all of those little things. What they're not great at is playing on the road. They're 11 and 12 on the road this year. They've lost 2 in a row after winning 11 straight. Ja talked about it last night. They got down by like almost 30 last night in Phoenix. They came all the way back, but lost by a few buckets. But, 11-12 on the road. Ja sent the message in the post game last night, like, we got to play better on the road. And if I'm the Kings, I would certainly, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back, I would certainly expect the Grizzlies' best shot tonight, especially when Ja came out and said, yeah, we got to fix this road thing.
If Steven Adams and especially if John Morant are not playing tonight, one or both, this goes into the category of should win, right? Just like Philadelphia, even though it was the second of a back-to-back and blah, blah, blah. When you saw the line, when you saw the injury report and it was no Embiid, no Harden, you went, oh, okay, they should win this.
Yeah,
one.
if John Adams don't play, you have to win
this game.
If you lose back-to-back games with Harden, Embiid, Adams, and John not playing at home, that's bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Especially against 2 of the 7 teams that have a better record than you in the entire league.
Which leads me to the whole, Grizzlies not great on the road. Kings have not been great at home. 15-10. They've got to play better at home. They've got to dominate at Golden One. Place is great. Fans are loud. The vibe is there. And what's really interesting is the bench. Usually your bench plays well at home. Like, they got to get going, man. Like, as much as Ja talks about the Grizzlies, we got to be better on the road. If I'm Coach Brown, I'm sure he's saying this to the guys. We got to be better at home. We got to defend our home turf better than we have. Like, 15-10 is not good enough. Luckily, and fortunately, the Kings have been good on the road. Yeah, one of the better teams on the road this year, which has helped even out the, I think, below par home situation. They got to be better at home. Again, you have to make sure you're boxing out all the simple stuff we talk about. Box out, defensive rebound. Don't give Adams, 2-3 chances at buckets off the glass. You got to make sure that you contain them and not let them score a ton of points in the paint. It's been the same conversation, Ramie, with this defense and some of the things that they have been unable to consistently do here. Keep them out of the paint. Keep them out of the paint.
Yeah, that's going to be the big challenge tonight, and has been the big challenge for much of the season, and especially when Domas isn't on the floor. I'll be the Shannon Sharpe for this game if you guys want me to go out. I mean, I know it's last minute. I don't know if we can arrange the seats to be that close to the court or anything.
Might be a bit late.
I'll be your Huckleberry if you want me to go out
there.
You
got a media pass.
I do have a media pass. But
you've got a minute left. Talk some smack about Dylan Brooks real quick.
I'd probably get revoked, though, if I went out there just to start.
And, of course, we have
Brooks, right?
If Ja plays, we got Fox versus Ja. Hopefully the bench does something. Hopefully Malik shoots the ball better. If they win tonight, it at least helps you a little bit. Forget about what happened on Saturday.
They really, really need Malik Monk to wake up.
It's desperate.
Because Mike Brown is really, really searching for answers on as far as his bench and his rotation if he can't count on that guy anytime soon.
It's desperation time now. By the way, per Frankie, they have not taken the floor to warm up, so no one knows. We're waiting. Right. We're waiting to see.
Recap show.
If
this guy.
If John Adams play. Yes, recap show. Ramie Makloff, youtube.com, Sactown Sports, 1140, immediately following the game tonight. Thanks to Kyle. Thanks to Simone. Ramie. Thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Back tomorrow for a full 4-hour show again. It's Scattles. It's Ramie. It's Sactown Sports.
You know we got your back like chiropractic. Do you dirty? We'll wipe her out as in detergent. Now hurry, go on to the altar. I know you ain't but remember what I taught you. Keep your heart 3 stacks.